Mint, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. Welcome into the show, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good start to their Monday. Without further ado, we welcome you into the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Minute. Kyle Sandel behind the glass. Heck of a weekend we had here at the ballpark. Look, I want to jump right into the basketball game that we had on last night. We anticipated for a full week that it was going to be the Pistons and the Hornets. That's not what ends up playing out. Friday night, the Orlando Magic dismantle the Charlotte Hornets and earn their way into the playoffs. And Kyle and I said on repeat, if the Pistons and the Magic are in a series, we can 100% guarantee a Pistons win. Well, funny how things end up working out. Pistons drop game one to the Magic. And just like that, they're down 0-1. They say the series doesn't start until the road team picks up a win. Well, the series is officially underway. Not only are they down 0-1, but they still can't win at home. Are you aware about the home winning streak for the Detroit Pistons? They've lost 11 home playoff games in a row dating back to 2008. And obviously that includes every playoff game they've had at LCA, which is now that was their 7th game in LCA yesterday, so 0-7 in that stretch too. Yeah, man, look, here's where I want to start things out. Obviously with this game, but let me just start by saying, first quarter, this team came out as flat as you can possibly imagine. And I'm not trying to make excuses, because I'm not. It was unacceptable. But Orlando being able to play 2 times throughout the week and get themselves back into it, and the Pistons not playing real meaningful basketball since they clinched the 1 seed over 2 weeks ago, I can at least make sense of them coming out completely flat. For a while in that first quarter, it felt like Cade Cunningham was playing extremely passive. Hey, Asar, you create some offense. Huh? Duncan Robinson, slash to the rim. Let's see how this works. Steps out of bounds. I didn't feel like Cade had the game within the grasp of his hands until the second half. And I don't want to say by then it was too late, but man, it would have been nice to feel that for the entirety of the game. They might have had a chance. You look at the box score, Cade's got 39 points, hitting his threes, hitting his free throws, shot well from the field. That's not the way Cade Cunningham wants to play basketball, though. Anyone who's, been watching this team all year understands Cade Cunningham's bread and butter is, manipulating the game, controlling it, getting his teammates involved. He doesn't want to score 39 points. He only scored 35 plus 3 times this season. It was way more often that he scored 13 assists than it was he was going to score 35 points. So the fact that he scored 39, it's easy to think, oh, impressive game, big game from Cade. I don't think that's the way he wanted to play. It's the way that Orlando forced him to play by taking away the role for Jalen Duren, who, oh boy, JD, I got to tell you right now, we're going to need a hell of a lot more from you than what we got yesterday in game 1. Tobias Harris, a lot of 15-foot turnaround jump shots when the offense couldn't find a shot, which was a lot, like an alarming amount. Duncan Robinson didn't shoot well. All of a sudden, JB Bickerstaff is experimenting with different lineups that we barely saw throughout the course of the regular season, like somehow Kevin Huerter's in the closing lineups in the fourth quarter. Yesterday wasn't just a loss. It was like a sucker punch. The big-time underdog 8 seed shows up to your building and just throws 2 giant haymakers at you. And by the time the Pistons were ready to go, it was the fourth quarter and Orlando had developed a big enough lead. Cade didn't look like the best player for the first half of that game. Jalen Suggs was the one who was just everywhere. And then throughout the course of the game, yeah, I know Cade scored the 35, but Man, if you would have said, hey, one of the guys on this team is a superstar, one of the guys on the court, you would have thought Paolo by the end of the game. We couldn't do anything to stop that guy. I'm not going to panic quite yet, but there's a good amount of reasons to be alarmed about yesterday's Game 1 loss. The Pistons are a defensive-oriented team, and Orlando brought the physicality, matched it with the Pistons, and it's not like they hit a crap ton of threes either. That's maybe the most concerning part. They took it to the Pistons in the paint, dominated that aspect of the game. The Pistons were chasing every sort of block. It's almost as if Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren collectively agreed before the game, we are going to break the NBA record, playoff record for most blocks in a single game. They went for everything. And you know what that led to? 11 offensive rebounds for the Orlando Magic because they had two guys consistently jumping at the rim and then just leaving it to be cleaned up by an Orlando Magic player for an easy putback for 2 points. They dominated the points in the paint. 54-34, the Pistons lost that category, a category they've been winning all season long. And once again, the turnover issues are back for the Detroit Pistons. Pretty alarming Game 1 for the Pistons. I'm not like full send panic yet, but that's obviously not the way you wanted to start if you're the Detroit Pistons playing in a 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the way that we were talking about this Magic squad going into this series, essentially we just viewed them as a worse version of the Pistons, right? At least the style that they play. They want to play a similar style. They have big, brute bodies.
Yeah.
They want to score in the paint. They want to defend, and they don't make a ton of threes. Their offense isn't the prettiest product in the world.
Mm-hmm. But at least the Pistons have, like, Cade Cunningham.
Right,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
And they have Jalen Duren. Like, they have the two best guys, hypothetically, in the series. You know, that's how you felt about this team. And whether you think about the depth or whatever, there were certain pieces on Orlando that you're like, man, imagine if the Pistons had a guy like that. You know, Jalen Suggs is just a defensive menace like Asar Thompson is, but was bringing much more offensively, specifically in this game. Like, there's certain aspects of the game like that. Yeah, Orlando has the favor, but, man, for the Pistons to get out-rebounded and the points in the paint part that you mentioned, like, that was the most disappointing piece to me. Jalen Duren is absolutely the most disappointing thing about Game 1.
100%.
The way that he came out in this game. I mean, he had that one, like, turnaround hook shot, I think it was late in the second quarter, for his first bucket, and you're like, wait, that was his first points of the game?
He had 8 points,
Jalen
Kyle.
Duren?
He, if you would just kind of passively had watched that game, you wouldn't have realized he was on the floor. He had 8 points by the time the game was done and was a minus 21. There was nothing that was that physically imposing all-star center that we saw throughout the course of the season. The guy that backpacked the Pistons while Cade Cunningham was out for this collapsed lung, that guy didn't show up yesterday.
Right. And that's the part that's most frustrating because you mentioned, like, Cade, he doesn't want to score 39, this and that. Like, I thought Cade had a good game, but it's like you said, not the way that the Pistons want to win games, not the way that they want to change how they played last year in the playoffs.
I don't think that's how Cade wants to play.
Sure.
I don't think Cade ever wants to score that much.
But, like, think about how we thought about this team in the playoffs last year. It was all on Cade. Everything was on Cade to get everything done. And if he didn't bring it, the Pistons weren't going to have it that night. And that's how you felt different about this year's team was look at what Duren did while Cade was gone. Look at the offense that he was able to create. Look at the way that he was able to carry this team, not just defensively, on offense as well. And then you get into this playoff game against Orlando, and it feels like the Knicks series last year. You know?
Where he's just another guy on the team.
And it's just Cade and them. And that's not how this was supposed to be. You had talked about, like, the way that the Pistons are going to go on a big run is if Duren is the best guy, you know? Like,
and look at that. Duren has less than 10 points and they lose.
A minus 21 is unreal. That's unheard of.
Lowest on the team.
Orlando doesn't have Jokic. Orlando doesn't have these, like, top 5 centers in the league. Wendell Carter Jr., look at the game that he just had against him. He took Duren's girl last offseason, and now he just dominated him in the playoffs? Are you kidding me, man?
Kyle!
Come on,
From
Duren.
the top rope.
Come on, Jalen Duren.
Minus 21, 3 for 4. That's like it's the 8 points is obviously bad. He took 4 shot attempts, Kyle. He didn't want the ball in his hands. That can't happen. They tried to throw the lob to him a couple times early. It resulted in a turnover. They just took it away. They were switching everything and said, Cade, if you're going to beat us, go ahead. But we're not letting you throw the lobs. We're going to force guys who are uncomfortable shooting threes to shoot a ton of threes. And then, of course, J.B. Bickerstaff, just here we go. This narrative for the 10th year of his career, gets to the postseason after an incredible overachieving regular season, and all of a sudden it starts to go haywire. JB Bickerstaff, for those who aren't as familiar as with his past before he got to the Pistons, this is always what he did. He overachieved. He got everyone to play really hard during the regular season. There was a lot of buy-in, and when it came to,
we're doing this already?
I'm just bringing up his history.
Okay.
And when it came to getting into playoff series and, where coaching matters at its most, his teams tended to fall short. I can't say I agreed with some of the lineups that they were closing with yesterday. Like when Cade and Danis and Kevin Huerter were all out there together in the fourth quarter, late stages with Stu and Duren. Can't say I loved that. Can't say I loved that at all. Asar Thompson, once again, just totally limited in the second half. I think I saw he had 9 minutes in the second half. Just, they don't want him out there. Kevin Huerter played a lot yesterday. Danis Jenkins played 22 minutes and was 1 for 7 from the field. Remember all those concerns about, is he going to be a playoff guy?
Hear me out, Ben. Danis Jenkins had to play as much as he did because Cade was the only guy who could create anything. And who's the second best option when Jalen Duren isn't bringing it to create any offense? It's Danis Jenkins. Like, it all goes down to the way that this roster has been put together going into this series. Like, that is the next best option. I thought Danis played enough. I thought he could have played more just to take some sort of load off of Cade. He didn't have the best game, obviously, but do you know what JB Bickerstaff's playoff record is, by the way? I saw this stat this morning.
No, I don't.
It's 9-20. It's 9-20.
That's bad. That's real tough. What did you think about those closing lineups yesterday? Because I couldn't. It's not that I hated them. We hadn't seen it at all this really throughout the regular season. Some of the combinations he was throwing out there, and I was like, this is not the time to be experimenting with new lineups. I don't understand that part of it.
I think it says less about them actually exploring new lineups, or just the fact, not the lineups themselves, the fact that they had to do it though. That's the part to me that I'm like, really? We had to go about doing that? That's why I'm concerned. We're doing this in game 1 of the NBA playoffs. We're throwing Cade, Jenkins, and Huerter. It's not like we haven't seen Cade and Danis. I mean, they played a lot together in the regular season.
Where did Duncan go? Why was Duncan not out there at the end? He was, low volume, but 3 for 6 from downtown. At least he was hitting some shots.
And even
Tobias out there stretching the floor. Oh my God!
Early in the game,
how many air balls did he have?
Early in the game, I thought, man, Tobias is the only guy that's bringing it right now. In the first half, I was like, man, Tobias is he's the only guy that came to play. And then he just missed so many threes.
And they weren't just misses. He was missing everything.
The Tobias corner three is the one spot where I feel good about him shooting a three. It always felt like in the regular season that was his spot. No.
By the time he shot 7 threes, those last couple that he took, it was just I'm not 100% panicked yet, but also if they lose the second game, then it's
obviously
it's beyond panic. You're down 0-2 in the first round and you're in a 1 seed. So, look, here's my question for everyone. Do you still have confidence in this Detroit Pistons team to rally and beat the Orlando Magic? Was game 1 a fluke? You can chalk it up to, they haven't played in 2 weeks, meaningful basketball. Orlando kind of got a taste of what postseason basketball looks like with the play-in. They're ready to bring it. They've got the playoff experience. That first quarter was maybe the most alarming quarter of all because it didn't feel like the Pistons were ready to bring it physically. It felt like Orlando was tapped into playoff mode where the Pistons were lacing them up for a Wednesday night in January. That's the entire first 8 minutes of the game.
Counter to that, people taking that perspective of the not having a week off or whatever it was, Dwayne brings it up in the YouTube chat. It's a good point. The Spurs, Celtics, and OKC all had a week off.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. They're playing against teams that were playing in the play-in.
989-837-6125. You still have confidence in this Detroit Pistons team to beat the Magic. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on the Mitt. 989-837-6125, 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. They help businesses solve real tech problems securely, efficiently, and without the headache. So when your IT is working the way it should, everything else gets easier. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission focused. You can find them online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Let's gauge the meter real quick, and then we'll get to submit messages and comments. 1 to 10. 1 being, well, the Pistons, I think they're going to win the next 4 games, and it's going to be a 5-game series. 10 being, oh, we're in trouble. I 100% believe that Orlando's beating the Pistons, and it's going to be a 1-8 upset. Where are you right now?
Just about this series? Like, if I'm in my, or is this about the Pistons playoff as a whole?
Just this series.
Just this series, I'm, as much as I just had a crazy reaction, like a 3.5 or a 4. I'm not on upset alert. I'll say that. This happens, right? Teams that lose game 1, there's been 1 seeds that have lost game 1 to the 8 seed in recent NBA history, and yet the only one that ended up actually winning the series was the Miami Heat. And so a couple years ago against the Bucks. Now, it's a concerning overall. I think it's concerning to the Pistons as a whole in this playoffs because some of the things that we were clearly concerned about this group throughout the regular season, we knew they were going to come up in the playoffs at some point. The fact that they come up in game 1 of the playoffs is extremely frustrating. And it's the fact that you didn't get the first home playoff win. That's the part that I just care about the most. It was like last year going into the series against the Knicks. Like, can we just win the first? They had the longest playoff drought in the NBA. Can you just win that first game and get it out of the way? The fact that you didn't do that in game 1 is very concerning. I would say I'll round up to a 4. That's where I'm at.
I was going to say a 5 just based on some of the things that have happened on the court. By the way, you brought up It's happened a couple times in their last few years where the 1 seeds lost game 1. You know who it happened to? The Orlando Magic. They won game 1 as an 8 seed against Milwaukee in the bubble, and then they lost 4 straight games. So it does happen.
DJ Augustine game. I remember that one.
Yeah, a little bit different of a Orlando Magic team for sure, but it's happened to them in recent history. I think I'm at a 5 simply because it's not just the fact that they lost or Orlando hit a ton of threes. That didn't happen at all.
Good point.
It's the fact that Orlando dominated them in the paint, where the Pistons have thrived all season, and just completely took away, not just the fact that he had a bad game, but unwilling to shoot was Jalen Duren. Orlando just punked him, pushed him around, got up in his grill, and made him a non-factor in yesterday's playoff game. Because that's what he was. He wasn't a bad player. I mean, the -21 would tell you maybe he was. But he was a non-factor in yesterday's game.
Yeah,
4 shot attempts.
He got bullied as, like, the bully of the NBA. You know, like, Duren is one of the biggest bullies there is in the league from a physical prowess standpoint. Mm-hmm. That guy should never get dominated by another player, and he did, and it was by multiple Orlando Magic players, and he just went silent. That's the weirdest part about Jalen Duren is it almost feels like his game, it's impossible for him to go silent because he plays so loud. He's a big body, rebounder, dunking everything, catching lobs, and yet there was multiple possessions that would go by in last night's game where it's like, oh, Duren's out there. Oh, Duren's playing center
Don't even
right now.
notice.
Interesting. Yeah, you don't even notice.
They took away the lob, which was one of the most effective plays in the NBA this season, K. Duren lob, and he was just like, no, I'm good. There's nothing else I can do.
But even I flip it to like Duren has made a lot of strides defensively so far this season, and we knew Orlando's defense was their strong suit. Like it's going to be difficult to have really great offense against this group. But defensively, I thought Duren was the same exact way he looked on offense. Like,
well, it doesn't help when they go for him and Isaiah Stewart are going for every block possible.
Right.
You can't have 2 guys going to block a shot every time they take a shot in the paint. That's what any layup where they were moving towards the basket, that's where the momentum was going, and they had to use the glass. There was 4 Detroit Pistons arms going to try to swat it off the board, and 11 times, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you actually 11's a lot of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, it's a ton.
I can only imagine
that's potentially 22 second chance points.
Correct. It's way too easy of baskets. Way too easy.
Yeah,
that part of it was frustrating as well.
And the best point you make is that this wasn't one of those games where, oh, crap, Orlando made 23s. That's not going to happen again.
Pistons also shot 19 more free throws than them.
Yeah, like this certainly wasn't a fluky win for Orlando. No doubt about it.
The Pistons made 15 more free throws.
Yeah, exactly. And in Orlando, I thought early in the game it was like, man, these guys can't miss. But it's not like overall they shot some crazy clip where you were like, that's unsustainable.
You want to know why felt like they couldn't miss? They were getting good looks. Paolo just bullied his way down to get 5 feet from the basket, turnaround jump shot over Kevin Huerter. That's going in every time. It's a good look for him.
Yeah. And time again, the part that really solidified this is a true win for Orlando was every time the Pistons regained momentum, because there was at least 5 or 6 times in this game where LCA got jumping a little bit because the Pistons went on a run. Orlando had a 6 to 8 point run in them time and time again. I mean, it happened so many times in this game where the Pistons felt like they were getting things going, and then Orlando just had a response.
Everyone in Orlando's starting lineup had 16 points or more. That's really tough to beat a team that does that.
That's wild. I thought Suggs, by the way, you talked about Banchero looked like the best guy on the floor. I thought Suggs was, we talked about menaces that you don't want to face in the playoffs with certain teams. Suggs is at the top of that list, man. He was impressive yesterday. So many times. And, Cade himself didn't have a lot of turnovers. I think he only had 3 turnovers in this game.
They were ugly ones, though.
But not even that. How many times did Cade just lose the ball and maybe get it back and it wasn't a turnover? There was just so many times where Cade or other players, the ball got jumbled up a little bit. The Pistons almost lost it, loose handle. Suggs was affecting so much of that stuff. I wish I could see a stat of, almost created turnovers, because Suggs had to have had near double digits of those.
It's the Dyson Daniels stat.
Right.
Tips.
Yeah.
Deflection.
He was just in every single loose ball, it felt like.
That all of that plus the stat that you just told me about JB Bickerstaff being, what'd you say, 9-20 in playoff games?
He's now 9-20 in playoff games.
Good grief. Yeah, I would say I'm at a 5 in terms of the panic meter.
Yeah, I'm still at a 4. And there's also a well-known history of the teams that lose game 1 like this, that are the heavy favorites, the 1 seeds or whatever, just kill the team in game 2. So that's what we need the Pistons to do in game 2 to really feel like that number 4, number 5 is fine. Now, if it doesn't go that way.
Oh, we're 10. I mean, if they lose.
Yeah, if you go down 2-0 in your home games as a team that also doesn't have playoff experience, it's not like this is OKC going down 1-0.
No, you might be in some real trouble.
Yeah.
Next game's Tuesday. Cody texting Wednesday, thank you. Cody texting in saying, you have to play a team. You have to play with a sense of urgency from the start of the game. Duren ran his mouth saying the East runs through Detroit. Orlando was the pit bull. Detroit was the Yorkie yesterday. All bark, no bite. Look, as much as I would love to tell you you're wrong, Cody, Jalen Duren he didn't even have any bark yesterday. He's been the big dog of the NBA the entire season, and he got put in the pounds. Like, he got put in the little kettle, in what do they call them? The crate? Yeah, he got crated yesterday, and he never came out.
Like the cage?
Yeah. Jalen Duren was what did he do yesterday? That was positive.
I know.
He didn't do anything.
I think it's just this is a role reversal here for Jalen Duren because him and the Pistons have always been like the feisty young dudes that are no one's counting us in, like we're the underdogs, and that's why I would never say he's all bark, no bite. He certainly is bite. He's proven that, right? But now it's different. Like, you're not the little feisty dog that's going after the big dogs anymore that feels like he can win any fight. You are the big dog that every other dog is ganging up to go after. And so this is a new situation for Jalen Duren. Clearly that was shown yesterday because he was dominated by a bunch of other dogs on Orlando.
Jeffrey says as long as the coach does a better job with the player rotations, they'll be all right. Jeffrey, I got bad news for you, man. JB Bickerstaff.
This is kind of his thing, right? Asar Thompson and J.B. Bickerstaff, I mean...
They just don't get along in the playoffs.
But also, like, the Pistons offense, I don't know if it was right to have Asar and Duren out there at the same time. Like, I would have
benched Duren than Asar yesterday.
I almost didn't disagree with that yesterday, but I didn't know really what the result was.
So you were on board with Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren both closing together? I'm not saying I'm anti those minutes, but in the fourth quarter with Kevin Huerter out there as well, with Danis Jenkins out there. It was just a weird lineup, one that we hadn't seen all season. I'm not fan of that.
You're right. I agree with that. But I think just the fact of, like, I saw a lot of backlash about how Asar Thompson, plays 20 minutes in this game and doesn't close.
25. Yeah. But most of it came in the first
half.
Half.
Yeah. I think he played like 9 second-half minutes or something like that.
Yeah, which was last year's problem in New York, and I really believe it cost him the game.
And I agree, because then, the matchup for Brunson in that series ended up being a much worse option than Asar Thompson. But the reason why you do it is because Asar and Duren, offensively, it has a opportunity to create issues if Duren is not dealing the way that he sometimes does.
Look, I know you and I both have these dark thoughts deep down, exactly what you're saying, and I echo them and I share them. I can't do that yet. My soul's gonna break if we start having about those
That's why he wasn't out there, though, right? I mean, why else would he have not been out there?
I know.
It's not because of defense, that's for sure. Asar Thompson might be the defense, like he might be all defensive first team.
He's
a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, like that guy should close games. So there's a reason behind it. And the reason behind it is him and Duren clashing offensively. Now, if Duren would have been having a great game on offense and the way that he did, the last 25 games of the year or whatever, then it's not a problem. Because you have to center and focus on Duren defensively. But when you can treat him like a guy that was a minus 21 and clearly isn't helping the group, then it becomes difficult to have Asar out there with him.
Jay texting and saying, Tobias is way too small to play power forward. He gets overpowered by these big forwards. Tobias only posts up guards and small forwards, but it's never the big guys that Tobias Harris is getting buckets on. Also true.
Paolo's much bigger than Tobias for sure.
Yeah, I think Tobias can hold his own against Paolo defensively, but Jay's right in terms of Tobias is never going to attack those bigger defenders when they're on him.
Right.
He likes to hunt the switches, and he likes to take these low percentage, late 2000s shots, early 2010s shots. Yesterday they were not falling, and it just by the time you got to the fourth quarter, it felt like it was suffocating to watch him take some of these shots.
But also he feels that pressure when the Pistons offense can't get something going.
Of course.
He feels like he's got to be the guy because he's the vet.
He was the second leading scorer at 17. He was the only player other than Cade to score double digits. I told you all 5 starters for Orlando scored 16. The Pistons had 2 guys in double digits the entire night. Yikes. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. As always, brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Do not wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we will get back to the Pistons. I want to work some Tigers in as well because, oh boy, the Tigers are hot, and Kevin McGee will not stop. There's also a new OPS leader. And one Tiger we are just sick of. Another Tiger we're worried about. All coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. Let's hit the news first.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Man, so many teases there, Ben.
Wasn't that good?
I know, like almost like man, I'm so excited now.
That might have been too many.
Maybe I'm
teases.
overwhelmed. Yeah, maybe there's too many teases. Take it back. We're not doing any of that stuff that he said.
Oh.
We're gonna hit the news here first. You did mention the Tigers, though, so let's go over them. They play today in the morning. Some breakfast baseball today at 11 a.m. It's Patriots Day out in Boston, the Boston Marathon to follow today, so a big-time event over there on the East Coast. Tigers Red Sox at 11 a.m. Jack Flaherty taking on Sonny Gray. Tigers up 2-1 in this series so far, though. Pretty good pitching from the Tigers most of the way. Of course, disappointing way to kick off that series with the 1-0 loss, but kind of interesting that they play at 11 today. We're going to get to live react during the show.
Sure. I guess that's where I've kind of settled on the 11 o'clock start. Sure, I'm down. Why not? Let's get this over with.
Get your Monday night free of a team you have to watch, you know?
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. The last hour of the show will be fun today. It's a weird, they'll have more time for a getaway day. I think today is the day that McGonagall's supposed to take them out to dinner.
Well, you see, he was supposed to do it on Sunday, but the game getting moved because they had to just pick up dinner because the game was supposed to be at 1. It got moved to 4:30 because of the weather or whatever.
On Saturday, right? Or on Sunday?
It was Sunday. They played at 4:30 yesterday.
Oh, I didn't realize that was originally a 1
it was
o'clock
supposed to be 1, but the weather moved it back, and so they didn't have time to go out, so Scooble just picked up dinner, and so McGonagall still owes him, apparently. Well, he also doesn't owe him anything on the baseball field because he's continued to be pretty awesome. Okay, let's go over what's going on in the rest of the NBA playoffs because, of course, there are other series going on. Most of the other teams that were supposed to win, well, they've all won so far. Yesterday, the one-seeded Thunder go up 1-0 on the Suns. The Spurs go up 1-0 on the Trailblazers after Victor Wembanyama scores the most points by a Spur in their playoff debut ever. And obviously, there's been a ton of legendary players to play in the playoffs for the Spurs. Both Tim Duncan and David Robertson sitting courtside at that game together last night. I thought that was pretty cool. But Wembanyama outscored both of them. The Celtics go up 1-0 on the 76ers. And then on Saturday, the Cavs, Nuggets, Knicks all win Game 1 favorites. The Lakers, though, the lone underdog to pick up a win behind former Piston Luke Kennard's big game. Any thoughts across all of Game 1s in the NBA playoffs?
Well, I gave you all my game thoughts on Game 1 of the Pistons. Other Game 1 thoughts, it seems like it could be pretty chalky, other than maybe this Pistons series.
No, we're not doing that,
I hope
right?
not, but I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with the Hawks. They hung in there as long as they could, but couldn't really get anything done against Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. The fourth quarter went about as much as you would expect. It was nice to see LeBron still chugging along at his age, scoring buckets. The Thunder look unbeatable. Celtics, they look real scary.
Yeah.
Just the way that they played. Tatum looks like 100% version of himself, so yeah.
Yeah, you got 3 games on tonight. Game 2s. Raptors, Cavs, man, unfortunate for them. They get the Peacock game. This game isn't even on regular TV. It's on Peacock only. 7 p.m., Cavs up 1-0 there. Hawks, Knicks at 8 on NBC. And then 10:30 tip between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves also on NBC. And, man, this is an unfortunate one because if Hawks, Knicks isn't over in time, this game's going to get pushed back even later. 10:30 on a Monday playoff game? Are we serious?
Like it matters. You and I aren't going to be able to watch this game, unfortunately.
No.
And this is the
best
series
game.
we're the most excited about.
I know. It's so tough. I will say, one of these underdogs wins tonight, right? Not all 3 of these teams are going to go up 2-0. One of them wins tonight. It's just about picking who it is.
Likely?
I kind of think the Hawks sneak out a dub tonight. That's because I felt good about the Knicks in Game 1.
They really, I was big on the Hawks going into the series, but they just didn't have enough offense to hang with.
You just got to remember, though, teams win games in playoff series. You know, if you pick the Knicks in 6, that means the Hawks got to win 2.
That is how that works.
But I'm saying, people always forget, but the Knicks look so good. Well, they're still going to lose at least a game in this series. Could it be tonight? I don't know. Nuggets aren't going to sweep the Timberwolves, that's for sure.
Game? The Denver was out of control most of that game until Jokic just took over down the stretch in the third.
So you're thinking
period.
maybe the T-Wolves is the team.
Maybe the T-Wolves
one of these underdogs
is the team.
wins tonight. That's my prediction. I just don't know who.
I think it's the Wolves. Okay,
I can get behind that. Unfortunately, though, we're not going to be watching. because there's way too much going on.
It is a shame. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Also
What's the
starting
first
off,
game
though,
tonight? What's the first playoff game tonight?
Raptors Cavs. Could the Raptors win a game?
Maybe. They didn't look all that great in that first
they
game
were the
either.
team. They were the team that looked the worst out of any of those three losers. So
I still think if the 1 seed got to pick who they played, the Raptors might have been the Pistons' choice.
the 5 seed.
The 5 seed.
I still think it just would have been Orlando.
Really?
Like, that's the thing. Like, we got to remember how Orlando ended their season, man. They were talking about firing. There was, like, real internal rumors that came out that the Magic were already searching for their next head coach. And they're in the playoffs, and now they just won game 1? Like, of course I would have wanted to play that team. Hopefully that team returns on Wednesday, because that was not that team last night, that's for sure. We've also got the playoffs starting on the NHL side of things. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but man, the Buffalo Sabres get their first playoff win in an extremely long time, and it came in dramatic fashion. They scored 4 goals in the third period to storm back and win this thing in front of a home crowd. It was pretty electric to see that all go down. Of course, the Pistons were trying to snap a home playoff losing streak as well, but the Sabres pick up a home playoff win, which was cool.
I'm happy for the Sabres fans out there. They're probably losing their freaking minds watching that game. 4 goals in the third period. That's the equivalent NBA of scoring 40 in the fourth to win a game. I don't know. Something ridiculous.
Yeah. And the NHL, they play way more games than the NBA does as far as these days off go in between these games, because they are running through these right now. You got back-to-back games for some of these teams. Stars and Wild, they play tonight. Minnesota's up 1-0. Oilers and Ducks game 1, that's tonight at 10 p.m. Penguins Flyers on ESPN at 7. Flyers lead that one 1-0. And then finally, the Hurricanes and the Senators with Carolina up 1-0. Game 2 is tonight. Okay, other stuff in the news. We'll end the news with this because this is a pretty big story that, I mean, it's been talked about all offseason long, but finally got some real concrete evidence this morning from both Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. A.J. Brown is just going to get traded to the Patriots after the June 1 renewal of the year happens. And so, yeah, that trade is just going to happen, it sounds like, but it will be a post-June 1 move. They can technically make the trade and agree to the trade prior to that, but it won't happen, of course, until after that time, which means it won't be picks from this year's draft. It'll likely be the 2027 picks involved, which if I'm Philly...
Strange.
But I would rather have that, right, if I'm the Eagles? The Patriots, you just are going to assume, aren't going to have the 31st pick slot in the draft next year.
Who's their head coach? Oh, I'm just joking.
It's funny how that's just already gotten pushed to the side.
I don't think it has.
But, like, now the story with the Patriots is, they're trading for A.J. Brown. Rather than, their head coach was...
I don't know. I don't think that story's going away. I think that might linger for a little bit longer. It's only not in the news cycle right now because football's not.
But I'm saying, like, the A.J. Brown stuff is
continue to pop back up.
The A.J. Brown stuff is like a good distraction. It's like, is it a coincidence that now they are for sure trading for A.J. Brown? Now
Schefter's
that all this
doing
stuff
him a little favor.
Which you think he would do the opposite because this involves a competitor. You think he would want to like make more stories about it?
Well, now it's like, now that Rossini's not on the beat with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
Schefter's I'll be the dirty guy.
I'll get with you, Mike Vrabel. Yeah, I'll hold your hand.
Yeah, now there's going to be pictures of those guys.
Yes,
in a pool with no
Poolside.
shirts on, in a hotel.
Correct.
All right.
Check the news.
We will get to some more Pistons texts when we come back and also hit the Tigers to lead off the 10 o'clock hour again. There's a new OPS leader with the Tigers, which, to keep it quite simple, means there's a new best player for this season, at least on offense. There's one person that I'm just kind of concerned about, and then there's one guy who is just infuriating to watch every time he's at the plate. It's all coming up here on the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mid. I got to tell you, I'm not lying, Kyle. Yesterday, you know where I stopped? Ace Hardware, downtown Midland. Picked up a nice little donut down there because they've got those.
Just a cup of donut, huh?
Yes. It was delicious. Locally owned and proudly family operated, Ace Hardware, downtown Midland is your go-to spot as we gear up for spring. Stop in East Main Street, downtown Midland. That's Ace Hardware, helping you get ready for the season ahead while supporting your community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. on 100.9 The Mid.
I just really can't get over the JB Bickerstaff stat that you said to me. 9-20 now in the playoffs after last night's loss. This is a guy that we were increasingly frustrated with last postseason as the Knicks series progressed, especially in Game 6 when he takes Asar out and the Knicks instantly go on a nice little run in the fourth quarter. He doesn't really want to play Asar again last night. He's experimenting with lineups that we didn't really see at all throughout the course of the regular season. And at one point in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, it was Cade, it was Danis, it was Kevin Huerter, it was Beef Stew, and Jalen Duren. It's just like, when have we ever seen that in the regular season? Which that gets a little bit frustrating. The fact that all regular season long, they were the team that, no matter what day of the week it was, what channel they were on, no matter who the opponent is, they were ready to go. They were always ready to fire on all cylinders, treat every game like Game 7 of the NBA Finals. For as bad of a reputation as the NBA has, that nobody tries, this, that, lack of effort, the Pistons did not fit into that description. They were busting their butts every single day. And then first 8 minutes of the game, first quarter, really, like just throw the whole first quarter together, they just didn't feel ready for playoff intensity basketball. Orlando's fighting for buckets, generating good looks, and it felt like the Pistons were just moving the ball around thinking, why are we not getting open lunks? And all of a sudden, Asar Thompson's the one that's trying to initiate offense. Duncan Robinson's driving to the rim. Look, Cade finished with 39, so it's hard to really blame him for any of this, but I thought it was on Cade Cunningham to set the intensity right off rip in the first quarter, and that did not happen. They were playing too passively where we needed Cade to go assert himself early on rather than wait until the fourth quarter to do it. And he ends up scoring 39. But as we discussed earlier, that's not how Cade Cunningham wants to play. Cade doesn't want to score 39. Cade wants to get all his teammates involved and have 10-plus assists. That's the way that he wants to play. Yesterday, he only finishes with 4 assists, which is obviously less than half of his season average. So I got to give credit to Orlando and their coaching staff for taking away the lob. Jalen Duren, he only shot the ball 4 times, which is just unacceptable, point-blank period. Forces a lot of guys that aren't shooters into open jump shots. They don't even want to take them. And basically said, hey, Cade, knock yourself out. Nobody else is beating us here. And it worked. So you got to give credit where credit's due. JB Bickerstaff getting out-coached in a playoff series yet again. I don't think that part of it's an overreaction for Game 1. That JB got completely out-coached in game number 1.
By the coach that is already been fired.
Basically,
By the
yes.
coach that, unless Orlando wins this series, is still getting fired.
Yes.
And
The guy who, going into the play-in game, it was already decided and reported that he was going to be fired.
He might still get fired, even if they win the series. Like, that's how much they'd already been planning on who. I already saw an Instagram reel the other day about who is going to be the next Orlando Magic head coach. And it was a real podcast talking about this. Like, he got out-coached by that guy? That's ridiculous. And so I think
and the scary thing is I don't really have that much confidence it's going to get better from a coaching standpoint. 9-20 in playoff games? That's his record? There is no history saying that it's going to get better.
Right. It's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, this was always the concern with JB, and I hate doing this already because we're one game into the playoffs, but he was always a bridge coach. It was always like the concern about hiring. Okay, he can get you back out of the dumps. Can he get you to the top of the dumps? Like that was the next thing about JB Bickerstaff. But the most concerning thing about yesterday's game, and something that I never thought that would happen to this Pistons team, is it truly did feel like they came out complacent. They came out like we're the 1 seed. Psh, Orlando Magic. Who cares? We wanted to play the Charlotte Hornets anyways.
They came out
flat. We're not gonna get up for this game. We're the 1 seed, man. We could come out whatever and win this game. Like, that's not the Pistons. They've taken on this underdog mentality. The city of Detroit always has embodied that mentality, and all the sports teams do as well. And so for the Pistons, who are the most physical team, the most, one of the best defenses in the NBA all season long, they love to bully their opponents. For them to come out complacent, that was the most concerning thing to me, because that was something I never thought would happen with this group.
And you felt it right away. Like, first 5 minutes of the game is, this Pistons team they're not getting good looks. They're not hunting shots. They're kind of asleep at the wheel defensively. For as buzzed as that building was to start, it was just a really disappointing first quarter, and from that point on, they were playing from behind the rest of the game. And that stat that they never led in a single minute of this game also just completely frustrating. So not to do the ESPN, this guy needs to step up segment, one game into the playoffs, but at the same time, Jalen Duren, 4 shot attempts, not going to cut it, dude. Not going to cut it. Going to need a little bit more from JD. Honestly, I'd like a little more from Asar, but can we start with the guy who's supposed to make an All-NBA team? And
yeah, the guy that we said who's going to be the best player on the Pistons in the playoffs?
Can we start
I got an
there?
answer.
Yeah.
Not him.
Cade had 30. If I would have told you Cade had 39, doesn't that feel like,
the
Pistons probably won?
That'd have been, we'd have talked about that for an hour and a half about how awesome Cade is. And I thought Cade was awesome, but it certainly didn't relate to them winning the game.
No, he was awesome, but again, it's credit to Orlando that they forced Cade to play that way, to where it was like, knock yourself out, you get to shoot as much as you want. You're not a scorer. And as tough as that is to hear to Pistons fans on the surface, he's a 3-level scorer in which he can score all the time at whatever level he wants. But throughout the course of the season, he's shown us it's not like he's this crazy high-volume scoring guard. That's not the way he wants to play. And Orlando forced him to play a different style of basketball than he's played all season long. That is a win for the Orlando coaching staff, more so than it is a win for Cade Cunningham that he scored 39 points. Please score more than 8 points next game, Jalen Duren. 989-837-6125. Let's flip gears. Detroit Tigers up next. We'll circle back to the Pistons in the 11 o'clock hour. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, subscribe there. TikTok, where else are we on? Facebook, that's an important one. Go follow us on all those accounts. Stay up to date on all the latest news, graphics, stories, stats, exclusive video content. It's all there. Detroit Tigers staying hot. That's when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
100.9 The Mint, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
We'll circle back to the Pistons in the 11 o'clock hour. Let's hone in on the Tigers here, who continue to win games. They've taken 2 of 3 so far versus Boston, with the series finale today in 1 hour. Can you believe that? 1 hour until the series finale, an 11 o'clock start. But this team, I mean, they've stayed red hot ever since they lost 5 games in a row, and we were talking about the panic meter and what we should be thinking about this Detroit Tigers offense. I'll tell you this, it's not like their offense has been magnificent since they've won, 8 of their last 9 games, but it's been good enough, and the pitching staff has been lights out to nobody's business. And now there's a new OPS leader in the clubhouse, and that is none other than Dylan Dingler, who hit his 5th home run of the day, 5th home run of the season, I should say, yesterday for this Detroit Tigers team in that game against Boston. He's now OPSing 983 after that home run, 5 of them, leads the team, 4 doubles, 19 hits in total. Is it fair to say he's been the best hitter on the team this season?
That's tough. You know, you would think that the best hitter on the team is Cole Keith. Or, I mean, that it's Kevin McGonigal. Mm-hmm. You could also say Cole Keith, but, guy doesn't play every day, so.
In the lineup today.
Hard to say it's him.
Neither does Dingler.
But Dingler, well, he's a catcher. No catcher plays in the lineup every day. I think we have to give it to Dingler, right? I mean, he's got the bombs to go with it. McGonigal's just got the one. Keith doesn't have one yet. Like, Dingler has been an on-base guy as well. But the power elevates him above all. It probably is Dylan Dingler. You're probably right.
Listen to this stat. The WAR, 1.4 leads the team with Kevin McGonigal. Dylan Dingler, 1.2. Nobody else has a WAR above 0.4.
Ooh.
And that's Parker Meadows. It's not a bad thing for everybody else. It's just that's how impactful these two guys have been all season long. Dylan Dingler more so defensively than Kevin McGonigal. But at the plate-wise, Dingler's now inserted himself into like a completely different conversation. Not just, hey, look at this, he's having a breakout season and he's maybe the more surprising bat on the team. He's now like launching him into conversation. And I know you and I were early on this, but now it's not far-fetched at all to think he's at least submitting his name in the ballot for, I can be the best catcher in the American League, or have that type of season at the very least. 5 home runs, that's nothing to joke about before we even hit May. And he just continues to come up time and time again. In terms of guys I trust with the game on the line, like who do I just trust to have a quality AB? Kevin McGonigal's still 1. I think Dylan Dingler actually might be 2, especially if there's some guys in scoring position where he can hit them home. He's proven to have the power to be able to hit the ball into the gap and get it all the way to the wall, or just hit it over the wall, which he has done 5 times this year.
Yeah, and he now not only is, of course, the leader in OPS for the Tigers, he's the highest OPS of any catcher in baseball right now, of any qualified catcher. I mean, that's telling you right there. And you know what he brings. I mean, the guy was a Gold Glover behind the plate last year, so it's not like he's this offensive catcher, but behind the plate he's whatever, he's fine. Maybe the backup catcher is more of your defensive guy. No, I mean, he's a defensive-first catcher, no doubt about it.
Who's
and yet
also the best hitter in the American League.
And yet he's the best hitter on the team and the best hitter at his position in baseball, not just the American League, in all of baseball. Kind of crazy.
It's been a heck of a season for him, obviously. And then the additional wrinkle to him defensively now is he's also the best catcher in baseball with the ABS challenge. He's the only guy that has like 8+ attempts that's still hitting at over 85% in terms of his success rate when he does go to the ABS challenge, which I don't know if it's the most important stat for catchers behind the dish, but it's the only stat that legitimately changes balls and strikes.
Yeah.
It's one of the most important stats for catchers.
Yeah,
behind
totally.
the dish
I think it's going to be the new, like the trendy catcher stat that became alive in the last 5 to 10 years was frame rate. You know, like frame rate it's the new everyone's favorite trendy stat.
Time.
It is, for real. Like, and obviously, yeah, pop time was great and throw down to second. I mean, those have always been stats that you look at for a catcher, but frame rate has become the new biggest one because that's just changing balls and strikes. If you can change balls to strikes, in the umpire's eyes, that's an elite catcher. This ABS stuff, I think, is going to be the new favorite one for everybody, too, because the difference between an 0-1 at bat, 1-0, there's all the stats about it. Benetti, Dickerson, they always bring it up on the broadcast, and it's great nuggets to throw in there. If you're able to change that at an extremely high rate, which Dingler has been, maybe he doesn't use it enough as you want him to, but still, like, he's been, percentage-wise, awesome at it.
That's going to be it a fine amount.
Yeah, but there's some guys that use it an absurd amount and that maybe know the strike zone better, or at least they believe that they do. And I think my favorite part about Dingler is, of course, he's got the home runs. The guy does not strike out. He's got 12 Ks on the year. 12 strikeouts. I mean, he's played in 19 games. That's unreal to think that he doesn't he doesn't draw a lot of walks, but he doesn't strike out either.
He doesn't have to draw a lot of walks if he's going to be hitting over 300, which I don't think he's going to hit 300 this year. Spoiler alert. I think McGonigal has a legit chance to, but this is just part of having what he ended up with 3 hits yesterday versus Boston, to where he's just like, it's now beyond just a hot start. This is one of the most reliable bats we have on the team if we're the Tigers, who are now 12-10, 2 games above 500, 0.5 games out of the division, with the chance to tie things up here in the division early today. We do have a lineup card if you'd like to see that, Mr. Sandel.
Sure.
Colt Keith playing first base today. Why? Because Spencer Torkelson is bad at baseball. Is that an overstatement?
Oh.
Well, it hasn't been this year. He has been a mess, man. Colt Keith taking over at first base today. If there was anybody that needed a day off, that just needed hey, go sit down over there. Don't even think about baseball today. Just, I don't know, take the day off, go do something. It was Spencer Torkelson. He's been awful. Awful. Despite the Tigers winning 8 of their last 9 games.
Yeah, and he's played in almost every game this year, too, so it felt like he was kind of due. Of course, they're at the point in the season, at least the point in the schedule, where guys are just going to get days off. McGonigal got the day off yesterday because they have not had a day off, and they won't get a day off until next Monday, I think, is their next day off. So definitely going to see a lot of these days off for certain players. But, yeah, Torkelson has just been an absolute mess. All of his at-bats, just having to go from watching Spencer Torkelson strike out to that ungodly commercial that plays on Detroit Sportsnet every single commercial break
with the dude
with the fake Morgan Wallen dude.
That guy's a former player.
I don't care.
I don't either. It's the worst commercial, and he
walks
like this.
It's the worst commercial. Yeah, he's doing the Morgan Wallen thing, and it's just like having to watch Torkelson strike out, and then it seg into that break. I'm ready to turn my TV off.
You're talking about the Car Shield commercial,
yes,
right? Yeah,
yes, I am. I wasn't going to go at the brand, but sure, go for it. Colt Keith, we haven't seen him play first base this year, right? I think this is the first time he's been over. Oh, he is.
Torkelson had another day off, then pinch hit later on in the game.
Yeah, so that was always a position that we knew Colt Keith could play. They tried to turn him into that last year before Torkelson made the roster. It might be something that they have to explore even more.
They should just tell Spencer Torkelson, you're not pinch hitting today either. Like you don't even have to put your baseball jersey on. Please, just go sit over there and watch the game. Watch our at-bats.
Look, man.
Now, go ahead.
If you never pinch hit Colt Keith or Kerry Carpenter in that game on Friday night when you scored 0 runs, and you kept Torkelson in the game, and you kept Wenzel Perez in the game, and you kept Hao-Yu Lee in the game, then why would you pinch hit Torkelson today? That's all I'll say.
Right now, Spencer Torkelson hitting a measly 182. 333 on base percentage, though. Okay. Draws a lot of walks. And that's quite literally all he's been good for this season. 561 OPS. That should tell you everything you need to know. He's got a 333 on base percentage, which isn't bad because he's drawing walks. 333 on base percentage with a 182 average. That tells me the only way he's really getting on base is walking. And he's not really being a productive player outside of that. So congratulations to Spencer Torkelson for having the best eye of his career. He's not swinging at balls anymore.
Good job.
We're going to need you to hit some home runs at some point, man. It's now beyond.
Or get some hits.
Extra base hits. That'd be nice. This is a guy who was clean up most of the year last year in the 5-hole, and he has 6 RBIs this season. And some of the stats with Spencer Torkelson when there's runners in scoring position or that bases loaded stat, this is one of the most unclutch players on the entire team. And again, we're going to continue to bring this up, is Jose Briseño going to take this guy's job at some point this season. I don't think it's that crazy the way that he's playing right now.
Well, he's not healthy. We need one of these Tigers minor league guys to give us an update on Briseño.
Yeah.
Because the guys at the big league level got too much to worry about, you know? We got
You're talking about the reporters?
We got to get some well, yeah, but there's not reporters at the minor league level, you know? Like we just got to figure this out. Because Briseño, his time might be coming if he's
Torkelson,
healthy.
yeah.
I mean, Javi Baez has twice as many extra base hits than Torkelson this season. Javi Baez, man. And Javi's having a fine year. I have another fun stat for you. It's not so fun. There's a good part to it, though. Spencer Torkelson, Wenzel Perez, and Hao Yu Lee, this is from Tigers Data on Twitter, are combined 0 for 29 in this series against Boston.
What are we throwing Hao Yu Lee in there for?
Because he's 0 for, and he's in the lineup today. And then Kerry Carpenter, Kevin McGonigal, Colt Keith, combined 7 for 17. Pretty good, 412 average. Sorry, Hao Yu Lee, I wasn't trying to go at you like that, but I mean, guy doesn't have a hit
Seems like
yet.
he just
guy
got
doesn't
roped
have a hit
into
yet.
a pretty poor group of performing guys.
What's Hao Yu Lee's batting average?
0?
I don't think I roped him into anything.
Played in 3 games. Give him a break.
Yeah, you're right. He's only got 7 at-bats.
Yeah, man. The Torkelson and who was the other guy that you threw in there?
Wenzel Perez, who
God.
I just think is
Max, man. When is he coming?
Yeah, and obviously Parker Meadows is going to be out for a while, so Perez's run here with the Tigers will last a while. I don't really know how long of a leash they're going to have with him because this is different than a guy that was on. It's different than Torkelson, who is an everyday guy in the lineup. Wenzel Perez didn't make the roster, so they clearly already view him as he wasn't good enough to make the roster guy. And now that he is here, he's been, outside of that lone home run that he hit, terrible.
He is a 200. He has an OPS that starts with 2.
That home run
tells you everything you need to know.
Isn't that home run his only hit?
It might be the only time he's got on base. Does he have a walk?
Yeah, he's drawn a couple walks.
Okay.
That's his only hit is that home run in 26 ABs. Wow. I did not realize that was his only hit. Yeah, I mean, like his leash is going to be quite short. No doubt about it.
If 200 is the Mendoza line, what's 100? Because he's below that. He's below that too. We like with the Wenzel line. Is
That's
that what
the
we're
Wilt
calling
line.
this? Yeah, he's below the Wilt line. 989-837-6125. One more Tiger that we haven't talked about because he's been out for a while. Justin Verlander. Is he becoming a liability? That's when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Mitt. As always, the show is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Right now, I need you to know if you're looking for financial advice that actually makes sense, you got to talk to Doug Cellini of Kings Youth Partners right here in Midland. Former teacher and coach, Doug breaks down all the complicated stuff and makes it easy for you and I to understand. He helps families, professionals build clear game plans for their money so you can move forward with confidence, not confusion. That's Doug Cellini, Kingsview Partners, right here in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Are you confident Justin Verlander will get himself back into the rotation? Because there are some dark quotes. Actually, dark might be a little bit extreme, but there was some quotes about his hip injury. That he's not really getting better, but he's not getting worse. They didn't want to call it a setback, but they didn't say he was getting better. He didn't travel with the team, and all of a sudden I'm having flashbacks to Alex Cobb's hip injury, which never played baseball again. I'm simply wondering, like, the way that Keider Montero's pitching, 3.31 ERA, which is almost misleading because I almost am willing to just throw out that Kansas City game where there was 7 different delays and just a bunch of weird stuff happening. I'm almost willing to throw that away. He's been awesome this season. It sounds like Troy Melton is coming back this season. It sounds like, knock on wood, Jackson Jobe might be coming back this season. Are we 100% positive Justin Verlander is going to be in the rotation by the end of the season? Because this hip injury, it feels like it's just going to last and linger a lot longer than we necessarily realize. And if it's the hip injury, as a pitcher, we've seen this, it's not like that's something that you can kind of just play through. That's something that has to get back to 100%, and I feel like this is going to take a little bit longer than we anticipated, and it could linger for a while. He's 43. This is normal behavior for a 43-year-old, by the way.
Are you asking this question as a injury-related question, or is he going to be one of the 5 best starting pitchers on the team by the end of the season question?
Can it be both? Is this guy going to be available and good enough to be one of the 5 best pitchers in the rotation? He hasn't even pitched at home. It was one start, and it was see you guys later.
Similar to Kenley Jansen, Justin Verlander was not brought here to be anything but a starting pitcher, right? Justin Verlander was not brought to the Tigers to come out of the bullpen, just like Kenley Jansen wasn't brought into the Tigers to get holds. Like, Verlander's going to be a starter, no matter what, right?
I don't know.
Keider Montero could be, like, we had this discussion, like, man, if Montero continues to deal, which he almost continued to deal, of course got dinged up a little bit in the 7th inning of his last start, I think Keider Montero could have thrown 3 straight perfect games, and Justin Verlander is going to be the starting pitcher over him still. He's Justin Verlander.
He's also 43.
Sure. Like, from the injury perspective, I guess we can do that game. Now, it's just like, is he going to be injured in 4 months?
I think what I'm saying is, what if Justin Verlander, this hip injury, he's just never the same from it? Not like ever in his career, but like this thing just kind of doesn't go away, and it's something that bothers him and clearly has an impact on his pitching even when he does take the mound again.
And it's all Brandon Inge's fault, too.
Why is that? Oh,
because they made Verlander catch the freaking first pitch from him, and they made him squat down, and next thing you know, he's out with a hip injury. Like,
Steve texting in saying, I believe reliever is the more likely role for Verlander. I do think he will help the team, but it just won't be as a starter.
There's no way. Like I could agree with you.
I think he's a big enough team player to where he'd be open to it, though.
No, there's no way.
What do you think he's going to
Verlander?
Trade me? Demand a trade midseason?
Verlander's not a reliever, man. He would hang it up before being a reliever. Like, guys like that, I mean, I agree in the fact that, yes, it could help the Tigers. Like, if that's the best situation and there's just 5 starting pitchers on the team that are better than him at the time, then yes, it would be the smart thing to do. But you don't do that.
It'd be one thing if they were just another team. They're trying to chase a World Series right now. I think if there was 5 guys that clearly have shown they're better than him, and Keider's one of them or Melton's one of them, JV, it might be time to have an awkward conversation. Mike says, the way Montero has been pitching, why not go with a 6-man rotation once Justin Verlander is healthy? Yeah, because then Skubal's not pitching as much. Because then Valdez isn't pitching as much. That would be my reason behind that. I'm out on the 6-man rotation.
Here's, man, this is all I'll say. I think the 6-man rotation can work sometimes. And, like, they kind of did that when they did pitching by chaos, too. They had, like, a scheduled day for pitching by chaos. Another team that was competing for a World Series, they do every single year, that had a legendary pitcher on their staff, was Clayton Kershaw. Was he one of the 5 best starting pitchers on the Dodgers the last couple years? Probably not. But yet he never came out of the pen.
He did in the WBC.
Right. And I think he did one time in the playoffs as well.
I think he did, yeah. And
but
you know what it was? He came out in that 19
the
inning
super
game.
late game. That's right. Yes. But Clayton Kershaw, last year started 22 of 23 games. Appeared in. Verlander's not coming out of the bullpen. Guys like that would rather hang it up and retire and call it a career than be a reliever. He's a starting pitcher, man.
Nathan says he's ancient. It'll take time.
Man,
we don't need him
ancient.
in April. We need him in October.
We've got some people over the age of 43 listening into this radio/YouTube show right now. That's offensive, Nathan. Ancient?
Is he the oldest player in professional sports? Because I think no matter what, if your age, if that's you got to be considered ancient.
That's a good question. There's got to be a baseball player older than him.
Does there? Justin Verlander is the old guy. How old is Ovechkin?
No way he's 43.
No, Ovechkin's only 40.
Yeah.
Corey Howe played till he was 50. Wow. Oldest player in...
It might be Verlander.
I think it is. There's definitely not a football player.
Okay, a Reddit page 1 year ago is telling me that Justin Verlander was the oldest guy in all 4 major sports. So Aaron Rodgers is there.
He's what, 42?
He's a year younger than Verlander, though. LeBron, younger.
Yeah, it's JV. I think ancient's allowed if you're the oldest player in all of pro sports of the 4 majors.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, Verlander coming into this season was the oldest player in the MLB. And guess who was second, by the way?
Kenley Jansen?
Max Scherzer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty funny.
It's funny because the Tigers' average age, they're truly one of the more young teams in Major League Baseball, but because of Verlander and Jansen, it just skews it so far the other direction that they end up being an average age.
Yeah, they're offensive lineup is one of the youngest most times.
Right.
Than not. The vets are Matt Vierling and Dylan
And
Dingler, kind of.
Javi.
Yeah, Javi.
Who maybe is 30, 29, 30?
I believe
No, he's past 30
yeah,
for
he's
sure.
got to be.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, to the point of Verlander, there will be a time once he does return where an awkward conversation has to be had with someone. I just don't know if it's going to be with Verlander or not. I think they might choose a guy who's pitching today on the mound to have the awkward conversation with rather than Justin Verlander.
Jack Flaherty, who's been
pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
And same with Mize.
Starts.
Mize was the guy who, once again, they showed their cards coming into the season. Mize was the guy they viewed least favorably coming into the year for back-to-back years. And he's just gotten off to awesome starts both times.
I'm with you. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live on the Mitt. We will take a trip around the league. A little football for you when we come back. Well, you know what? We'll do around the league when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
coming without no money, girl. Come on.
On 100.9 The Mid.
We've got a team in round one of the playoffs. We've got a team fighting to, they're a half game out from being in first place in the AL Central. We've always got time to take a trip around the league, though.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
I got something good for you. I thought of you as soon as I saw it. I was like, we're going to do this for around the league. You know how we used to have the Woj bombs in the NBA? When he would drop some big-time news. It was like a Woj bomb.
You have a Ben bomb?
I've got Schefter nuggets for you.
Oh, I mean,
Adam Schefter
what
nuggets.
a letdown. You thought of me. Oh, so thoughtful of you, Ben.
Your favorite guy, the Michigan alum, Adam Schefter. Heading into the draft, here are some notes. Here's what Adam Schefter is hearing. You alluded to number one earlier. Brown likely to become a Patriot, but it's happening after the draft. I can't remember seeing something like this. It makes sense for both
parties. Yeah, it's all
parties.
for the financials of the league renewal.
Right. I understand the financial aspect of it for both teams. But to agree to it before that happens, before the draft even, is weird.
Nothing's been agreed to. It's just that this morning basically was dropped that it's going to happen. They can agree to it, though. Like that's probably what I guess will happen. The trade will be announced. Like, oh, they have traded the A.J. Brown to the Patriots, but it just won't actually be official until after June 1st.
And do you think it'll be with picks this year, though? That's where it gets weird, to where like the Patriots are going to draft these players, and then they're going to get sent to Philly on June 1st.
No, I think it'll just be picks. It'll be a 2027. I just don't know if it'll be a first.
Well, it would. No, I'm saying like the Patriots draft whoever the Eagles tell them to draft. It can be one of those type of things.
No, that won't happen.
I was going to say, I don't think you see that in the NFL.
I think it'll just be, I mean, if I'm the Eagles, I want the 27 Pats picks, you know?
Because you're zagging on them being any good this year.
Not
First-place
even
schedule,
that. It's just like,
it's going to be harder.
I think the odds are in the favor of them being a little worse than this year, right? And the only way that the pick could be worse is if they win the Super Bowl.
It's a good point.
Thank you.
I think I still think that this has to be 2 firsts. Or a first and a second.
You think it's 2 firsts for A.J. Brown?
I think it has to be a first and a second.
No way. I just asked. I don't even know if it's going to be a first.
Didn't Jalen Waddle go for a first?
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle went for a
he
first and a third. Yeah, I'm going to
No,
want 2 firsts if I'm the Eagles.
If A.J. Brown gets traded to the Patriots for 2 first-round picks, I'll do something. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something.
He'll do something, ladies and gents.
Yeah, let me know what I have to do because I'll do something. That won't happen.
Okay, the next Adam Schefter nugget is that the Eagles might not stop there. League sources say that general manager Howie Roseman is plotting to make a deal on draft weekend. Howie Roseman usually has a trick or 2 up his sleeve, and other front office executives suspect there's a move coming.
Wait a second, Adam
this
Schefter.
week.
Wait a second, Adam Schefter. Are you telling me that the guy who every single draft makes a trade is going to make a trade during the draft?
That's what he's hearing. I know. Mind is blown. He walked out. Ladies and gents, Kyle Sandel took his headset off and just walked out. He's gone. He can't believe it. The guy who always makes trade is going to make a trade.
Thank God this world has Adam Schefter.
Next one. Next nugget. A lot of love for Jeremiah Love. Even though he will not go number 1, Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love is considered by many to be the best player in this draft class and the first running back to be drafted in the top 5 picks since the Giants selected Saquon Barkley. What do you think? Is what he's hearing true? Is he going to be a top 5 pick? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I think
he
so
ends up
because
in Tennessee.
That's been the word on the street, at least from a lot of these different reporters and just guys that are covering the draft, is that Love to Tennessee is the pick that everyone likes.
And if he doesn't go there, I think the Giants would be silly to not take him. That's a team that's actually ready to take a running back.
With Cam Scatterboo?
Come on, man. Let's not do the.
But
we have Cam Scatterboo. You have a chance for a generational running back, and you're going to say, "Oh, we have."
I mean, they spent a second-round pick on him last year. Like, they spent high draft capital on him.
You trust him to stay healthy? Trust him to stay out of trouble and stay healthy.
Stay out of trouble?
trust
Does
his
he have a
brain?
history of getting in trouble?
He's had to apologize for a couple things he said on stream.
He just
already
goes on
this year.
Twitch. I mean, if that's getting in trouble nowadays, and man, Georgia football's got something to complain about. But
No good things come out of the athletes going on Twitch, is all I'm saying. Usually it's bad things that end up happening.
good point. Puka Nacua would agree.
He's also a moron.
I think that's what you were just trying to get at the whole time. Yeah.
Correct.
But where I was going is that, yeah, the pick that everyone likes, or you could say loves, is Love going 4 to Tennessee. And if that's the word on the street, Arizona's there at pick 3. Like, shoot, why not at least make it seem like we're going to take him, you know? See if Tennessee wants to trade up, see if anybody else wants to. I think nonetheless, though, yeah, Love is going to go in the top 5. It makes a ton of sense. We've seen running back prospects, that mindset gets shifted a little bit in the past couple of years. I think it's just because you get them on the 5th-year option. That's why these guys are now going in the first round once again. But they've been going inside the top 10. Bijan Robinson, I know Gibbs was just outside of it. You had Ashton Genty last year. It's kind of weird that it's been since Saquon Barkley. That's almost 10 years ago now, which is really weird to think about. But this draft is weaker, and Love is one of the best prospects in it. I like it. I think he goes 3 or 4. I would be cool if he went to Arizona. I think that'd be kind of fun.
I don't think they're ready for him.
Probably not.
I don't think they're ready to take a running back. Here's some other trade candidates to watch, according to Adam Schefter. We saw Dexter Lawrence get traded for just straight up the 10th pick on Saturday, which just shout out the Giants. Now you have 2 top 10 picks for a guy that you didn't really want to be a part of your team and you had to pay anyway. Just get younger at the position.
Yeah,
draft
crazy
a
trade.
defensive
Like,
stud.
just
What a steal for them.
A guy going for the 10th pick, and that's just it. Like, you just don't really see trades like that, you know?
Yep. Cincinnati's like, well, we could add Caleb Downs and get one of the best safeties in the draft. We could add a young player,
On
but
a rookie deal, cheaper.
Yeah, but let's just get an older player who's in the middle of or on the downside of his prime and pay him a ton of money too. Sounds like a good idea.
He is a really good player.
For sure.
Worth a first-round pick. But Cincinnati, of all teams, doing it is funny.
Here are some other, because they're just not going to extend him. Here are some other guys. Well, I mean, like to a long-term deal. Other guys that could be traded to keep an eye on. Anthony Richardson, which I'm just all in on him getting a second chance somewhere else.
Yeah, same.
It'll probably be terrible, but I just
Mainly because I think I still own him in a dynasty league, and he's just a fun guy. Like, the Anthony Richardson experience, it's very similar to watching Carson Wentz play. He is an enjoyable watch, whether it's good or bad. Same with like when Sam Howell was playing. Just a fun guy to watch, always trying to do something.
When I was, you remember 2 years ago when we played Anthony Richardson, the Lions?
Yeah.
That was the first time I felt bad for another team. I was like, oh my God, they can't even like score
because we won by
first
like
downs.
50 points, right? Yeah.
And Anthony Richardson couldn't convert a first down. Like that was a really hard challenge.
Yeah, but everyone remembers that
for that.
deep pass to Alec Pierce in week 1 2 years ago. Everybody remembers that.
I don't even know what the team is for him.
Well, the Rams was always the team. That was always whatever. Like, there was the rumor that Sean McVay likes Anthony Richardson. That's going to be the guy they go get. They have multiple first-round picks to draft a quarterback at some point, though, so people were thinking that might be the case.
But now they don't.
Right.
Will Levis, another name. Spencer Rattler, another name in terms of the non-quarterbacks. Kyle Pitts.
Will Levis, yeah.
Kenny Moore. Kayvon Thibodeau. Keon Coleman, and Brandon Ayuk, amongst others.
I don't think Brandon Ayuk's ever going to play football again.
Really?
That's where I'm at with him.
I forget. Is he a bad guy or is he just hurt?
Both.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard to get. It's hard to keep track of all. of them.
NFL wide receivers. There's so many bad guys. It's hard to tell.
Here's a long shot scenario to keep an eye on, according to the Chef man. If the Jets take Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey at number 2, which many believe will happen. I believe Arvell Reese is still the favorite betting-wise. If the Cardinals take Love, which apparently is getting some traction, and the Titans take Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles, then Ohio State edge rusher Arvell Reese could slide to 5, in which the Cowboys would trade up and get their top-tier pass rusher.
Oh, the Cowboys would trade up. Wow, this is just a lot of
That's
chain
a lot of
reaction
ifs.
here. Yeah.
A lot of ifs. If Arvell Reese slides to 5, which I believe, according to betting-wise, he's still the favorite to go 2. As far last time I looked was on Friday or Saturday, so it could have changed. I'm going to double-check. But if he slides all the way to 5, somebody's going to trade up and get him. And I do expect it to be a team like Dallas, who traded away their edge rusher last year, got draft capital to do it, and has the ability to go do it. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that would make. I mean, like,
you don't
the
have to
Cowboys.
start the music.
No, I know. The Cowboys have continued to be, like, always aggressive as far as wanting to acquire certain guys after trading Micah Parsons, and they have done a pretty good job of that too. So I could see it.
I'm trying to look who just the favorite is to go to, because the whole time it's been Arvell Reese, and I just have continued to be like, I think David Bailey just might actually go.
I mean, he is the guy who you know what
Second.
position he's playing, whether you think Reese is the better prospect or not.
He's the sure thing.
He also is just plays edge rusher, and Reese is just, I don't really know where they're going to play him at yet,
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'll
no
check
draft stuff up right now. Interesting.
That's not true.
I can't find it.
I see other props, but I think I'm missing some of these the ones that I was just talking about. Oh, here it is. The number 2 overall pick, Arvell Reese, minus 380 to go number 2 still. What does whatever sportsbook know that everyone else is just zagging on? Everyone else is telling us David Bailey, whether it's Schefter, whether it's Todd McShay, all those people are saying David Bailey. Yet Vegas says Arvell Reese is going to. It's interesting.
God trust Vegas. Wait, what's Adam Schefter's thoughts on the NBA playoffs? That's not in this article?
No, it is not.
What? His thoughts on the New York Mets aren't in this?
Nope, that's not in here either. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Around the League, as always, is presented by Aired Insurance. Not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs. Whether it's life or home or auto or physical insurance, it's all available with the Aired Insurance Group with Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Tigers starting in about 12 minutes. Weird, but I'm kind of just here for it. Why not? Let's get weird. Starting lineup today, Kevin McGonigal leading off at shortstop. I like him in that leadoff spot. Gleyber Torres at second base in the 2-hole. Colt Keith batting third, Riley Green fourth. Dylan Dingler as the DH today, fifth. Colt Keith playing first base. Kerry Carpenter in right field, always scary in the 6-hole. Matt Vierling in center. Hao Yu Lee batting eighth and playing third base. And Jake Rogers behind the dish today. So what I'm hearing is the 8-9 spot. We've got 7 bats in the lineup today. The 8-9 spot,
Ooh.
just the automatic strike.
Jake Rogers put one up against the Green Monster in Game 1.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. There's more evidence than not that guy's just not going to get a hit
I
today.
mean, he's just a backup catcher. Yeah. I think that
7 bats today.
I think with Hao Yu Lee, obviously we don't know how long he's going to be on the squad.
As long as McKinstry's hurt.
He's basically faced lefties so far with his time in the majors. Hasn't gone great, so it's like today, sure, you'll face a righty. Like, you're here, you might as well get as many at-bats as possible, see if you can provide a spark. If not, adios. So I don't mind him being in the lineup today. My biggest takeaway from the weekend, and obviously Colt Keith being back in the lineup, is Colt Keith just for sure not going to face lefties all year, right? I think we've just come to that conclusion already.
Pretty frustrating, but yeah, you're probably right.
It's so frustrating, man.
Probably take a couple more injuries, which obviously none of us are rooting for, but that's probably what it would take.
It's just frustrating to me because last year the mainstays of the lineup, righty, lefty, no matter who it was Torres, Torque, and Riley. And they had great 2025s. Who's having great 2026s? Colt Keith, Kevin McGonigal, Dylan Dingler. Kevin McGonigal, mainstay. Dylan Dingler obviously is going to be. He's not going to be a platoon catcher. That doesn't really happen.
But he's a DH today.
Why is Colt Keith not added into that group? Like, he's having a great year. Sure, he's not great against lefties in his career. He also is having a breakout season. What if he could break out against lefties too? We're never going to find out.
I mean, you're preaching because I've been on this the entire time.
It's frustrating.
During the Loons game yesterday, I had a contestant play one of the on-field games. Said the same thing to me. Why is Colt Keith not in the starting lineup against lefties? Said, brother, I wish I had the answers, but I don't know.
I mean, he's a career like 600 OPS guy against lefties. That's the answer.
And what was his last year in the minors? What was his OPS versus lefties?
Sure, I mean
900. 900. I don't get why we're just giving up on the ability to do it this fast. We're not even going to give him the opportunity to play his way out of the lineup. We're just all set on that the whole season. It's frustrating.
And like I said, it'd be different if he has been awesome overall in his career so far in the majors, but not good against lefties. No, he's been fine in the majors so far, and now he's breaking out this season. Why not see if he also has found something against the left-handed pitchers as well? Like, he helps the team more than he hurts it. So why not have him out there every day?
I am a fan of having Dylan Dingler as the DH on the days that he's not catching. I know it's not going to happen every time, but
why not?
I think it needs to happen more often than not now.
As long as it means Wenzel Perez is not in the lineup, then
because I think there was a while there to start the season when it's like, Dingler's not catching today, so he has the day off. It's like, no, I think like 2 of his 3 off days behind the dish, he should just be in the lineup as the DH. So 1 of every 6. Wait, how did I get to that 6 number?
I don't know.
1 of every 6 days off for him behind, like 1 of every 9 days, he should not be playing at all, rather than once a series. That's how I got that number. Because usually it's give the catcher off the last day of the series or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah. Once a series, usually.
2 of every 3 series, he should be in the DH spot during that day off. So 1 of every 9 games, 1 of every 10 games, he should have the actual, hey, here's a full day off.
You should say more numbers.
I think my math is correct there, right?
I understand what you're trying to say, yes.
And then I also just, every time Kerry Carpenter's in right field, it's just like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, especially in this ballpark. I mean, it's already the weirdest park there is.
Yeah, you have to make a decision. Is Colt Keith, or no, is Kerry Carpenter going to be in right field as a negative defender, or is Dylan Dingler going to be in the lineup? Those are your choices.
I'd rather have Carey out right today than trying to figure out where the ball's going to go off the green monster out and left. That would be just a disaster.
I never want Carey in left in the first place to begin with. He's just worse out there. But I am willing to live with Carpenter as the right fielder if it means Dylan Dingler's in the lineup.
Yeah. Worth noting, too, by the way, a guy who has really started to pick things up a little bit, Matt Vierling has been like really playing well lately for Detroit. Obviously, finally they're facing lefties, so that plays into it. But with it's pretty timely. With Parker Meadows going out, now there's more opportunity for Vierling. He has really stepped up, and I've enjoyed watching him specifically in this series because he's had multiple multi-hit games.
I've got some cool McGonigal numbers for you from the Tigers PR. Kevin McGonigal leads all Major League Baseball rookies with a .312 average, .411 on base percentage, 6 doubles, 2 triples. Leads all rookies in those categories. He's also reached base safely in 17 consecutive starts, which is tied for the longest active streak in baseball for anyone, not just rookies. I don't think All-Star's totally off the table. It probably is because Bobby Witt also plays shortstop.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man.
It's a very
He's
difficult
so
position to get it at. Yeah, no doubt about it.
He's just been one of the best bats in the American League, though, not just against rookies.
No, I so don't think it's out of the picture. I mean, he's the Tigers' best hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tigers are going to be a good team that's going to have multiple All-Stars. So, like, I completely think it's in play for him to be an All-Star. No doubt about it.
The most likely All-Star guys right now, I think, are Dylan Dingler.
Tarek Skubal, obviously, he's the number one lock. Dingler, for sure, is probably the number 2 guy. And then after that, it's up in the air. Because
is it crazy to say? I was going to say Kyle Finnegan. Some of his numbers have been outstanding.
Sure, the relievers
year.
always are to the petty teams, though, that don't get an All-Star. Like teams that stink because everybody gets an All-Star, so they usually just give it to whatever their best reliever is.
Just a dumb rule.
I know you think this. I disagree. But anyways, McGonigal might be third.
I think he is.
He might be third on that list.
It's not Torque. It's not Riley. I guess Keith has a pretty good argument too, but
what position?
Yeah, maybe he's the utility all-star. He's
the
new
new
Zach
guy?
McKinstry. He plays everywhere
That'd be cool,
around the
man.
infield.
That'd be cool. I mean, him playing first base today, it adds to that. I mean, he's really mainly only played third or DH all year. But
I don't think he's played at second at all.
No, I mean, there's no need for him to ever play second anymore, even though that's like his primary position.
I'd rather him be there than Zach McKinstry. Zach McKinstry's played second a good amount this year.
Yeah, every time Torres doesn't, it's McKinstry.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got the fourth guy who it could be.
Framber? Kenley?
It'd be crazy to get 2 starters out of the 5. That'd be unreal. I was going to say maybe Max Clark.
As an all-star? Is he past the age to play in that Future Stars game? Do you only get to play in that once?
I don't know the rule on that. I mean, he should be in it if you can be in it multiple times, yeah.
I think he's going to be in the majors by then. 989-837-6125. More on the Pistons Game 1 disaster when we come back.
I thought we were just going to react to the Tigers game for the whole hour.
We can do that too. Don't worry.
Oh, he swung and missed.
We will be doing both of those things here for the 11 o'clock hour, which is presented by Yiter Insurance. This is the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
First pitch for the Detroit Tigers in Boston on Patriot Day is about 10 minutes away. We'll keep you updated on that as the game progresses. I want to circle back to last night. The Pistons are down 0-1 now in their postseason series against the Orlando Magic. I'm not quite freaking out yet, but I am also just willing to, hey, the Pistons haven't played in 2 weeks, haven't played meaningful basketball in a few weeks since they clinched the 1 seed Orlando. They've played 2 play-in games, and that's how they've gone to this. They are ready to go. I do want to throw that out the window. It's understandable, but look at what the Celtics did, 123-91. They lead the 76ers, who played in some play-in games. The Thunder, 119-84 against the Suns. They destroyed their opponents. The Spurs, 111-98. They beat the Trailblazers. The Magic are the lone team that didn't know who they were playing going into the playoffs, who had to wait through the play-in tournament to lose in the first round. They're the only 1 or 2 seed to lose so far. Obviously, everybody's only played 1 game thus far, so it's understandable. But I'm all set on the, well, they weren't ready to go in the playoffs, because you know what happens? They slept-walked through the first quarter. They were not ready to go in that game. It took them a whole half to really, feel their intensity, that level of Detroit basketball that we've gotten so used to. That wasn't there for the first 8 minutes of the game, which was arguably the most important 8 minutes of the game of setting the tone for the rest of it. The Orlando Magic were the tone setters in that game, not the Pistons.
Which is unfortunate, because you're playing in front of a home playoff crowd who is hungry to witness the first home playoff win ever in that building. That is, in one thing, should be enough to propel you to a win. And this Pistons team just embodies the mindset of, the tryhards, the effort guys. No one's going to outwork us. That's everything that they've embodied, not just this year, last year. Every regular season game they get up for, no matter what it is. And, this game of all, they come out flat and the other team is outworking them. This should be the last game out of that. That should be that way, So that's the part to me that I was just man, it's just surprising, if anything. Of course it's disappointing, but I was shocked by that. What part of last night's game is the most concerning to you going into game 2? You don't have to be concerned on the series that they're going to lose, but just strictly from game 1, what part of it makes you the most concerned going forward through the rest of this series?
There's 3 things that come to mind.
Oh.
I'll narrow it down. I'll talk through this. The first of which is JB Bickerstaff, who's experimenting with new lineups in the fourth quarter for the first time all year. I don't think we had seen a Cade Cunningham, Danis Jenkins, Kevin Huerter played a crazy amount of minutes yesterday. Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. I don't think we'd seen that lineup all year, the double bigs with the Danis and Huerter in there. And yet we're doing it in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. So there's concerns with JB Bickerstaff and his 9-20 record in the playoffs. I was pretty concerned as to how, I guess this kind of goes to the coaching, but the Pistons just walked right into the Orlando Magic trap in terms of, this is how Orlando wants to play the game. We're going to slow this thing down. We're going to hunt good looks. We're going to get into the paint, dominate there, and we're going to force Cade Cunningham to be a scorer, which he's not uncomfortable doing, but it's not the way he wants to play. And we're going to completely take Jalen Duren out of the game. So I think the Orlando game plan, being able to take Jalen Duren out of the game and him being a non-factor and non-aggressive, that also parlays into JB Bickerstaff getting out coached. So I think it's my one answer to kind of circle all that stuff would be the fact that Orlando's game plan worked as successfully as it did in game 1. That's my answer, because it covers a little bit of everything. It covers Jalen Duren being a wimp and not taking it to the
wimp.
other. He shot the ball 4 times. That
Wimp?
can't happen. 8 points is one thing. You shot the ball 4 times.
Like the wimpy kid?
Yes. It's not even like
The
Jalen.
one with the diary?
It's not that Jalen Duren was bad from the field. He didn't want to shoot the ball. That is way more problematic than having a bad game from the field. So I think that covers that. The coaching concerns where maybe JB Bickerstaff's not as great of a coach as we thought, even though it's so funny because it's like, oh, we're making the case for him to win Coach of the Year, and then we get to the playoffs and we're reminded that we
he
actually
stinks
don't.
in the playoffs.
We don't even like him.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Orlando was willing to able to execute their game plan as successfully as they did is my number one concern.
That's fair. I mean, just because coming into that game, like, you also have to have the context of where both teams were at. And we've discussed this a few times already, but, like, I don't think a single one of these playoff teams, all 16, came into the playoffs in a worse position than Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
They've already focused on next year. They've given up on this season. At least their fans have, and certainly the people that are covering the team have already discussed who's going to be the next head coach, this and that. There's been the internal reports that Jamal Mosley's already been fired, essentially. And that team comes out and wins game one. They outworked you. They out-game planned you. They did it all, basically. I couldn't believe that. So, yeah, I'm with you. That was one of the more shocking parts of it all. So, all that being said, I am, like, dialing back my panic meter. I'm at, like, a 3.5 or a 4. I feel like the Pistons are going to use this as fuel and realize, like, I don't know if you saw any of the post-game pressers, but Cade was pretty, like, calm about it all, which some people might think that's a bad thing. I don't. I think it's sincerely, I think he's sincere. He's truly going to believe we're going to use this for game 2. We didn't come out right. I don't know why we didn't come out right, but that's not going to happen again. I believe him because I don't think this is something the Pistons have showed all year long. Coming out flat, being complacent, not getting up for a big game. This is the biggest game.
The shocking part. The first 8 minutes where Orlando brought the intensity, it felt like a playoff game, and the Pistons were lacing up their shoes as if it was a November back-to-back Tuesday night game.
Yeah.
That's like,
and
they weren't being aggressive. All of a sudden, like, we've got real first quarter minutes of Asar Thompson trying to initiate offense, Duncan Robinson stepping out of bounds because he's trying to attack the baseline. It's like, Cade, man, you're going to need to set the tone. And by the end of it's hard to be pissed at Cade Cunningham after yesterday. He scored 39 for crying out loud. There's a couple bad turnovers, but he scored 39 points on a fine percentage from the field. He doesn't want to play that way, though. Like, let's all make one thing clear. Yes, let's acknowledge that Cade scored 39 points. That is not the way Cade Cunningham prefers to play basketball, and he scored 39 because Orlando basically said, we're going to let Cade knock himself out. He's not going to be able to throw these lobs to Duren, and he's not going to be able to find open shooters. We are smothering those guys, taking away passing lanes. That's what makes Cade Cunningham special. He's a good scorer. Maybe you could say a great scorer. But the thing that makes him an elite basketball player is just his ability to control the pace of the game, manipulate a defense. They didn't let him do any of that, and it resulted in him scoring 39 points but only having 4 assists, and only one other player on the team having double-digit points, and that's Tobias Harris, who just gets his own shots on his own looks. No one really benefited from Cade Cunningham's passing yesterday, unfortunately. And that's part of the reason we thought Cade was so special this season. Why
it's how the
he was
Pistons
a top 5
won
MVP
a ton
guy
of
for
games.
so long.
Like, that was the best reason why we felt better about this Pistons group than last year is Cade's steps that he took as a playmaker this season.
Mm-hmm.
Not having that in game 1 is crucial, especially even if Cade scores 39 points and it doesn't matter. Like, that's why. Because no one else could step up.
It's almost like the biggest – like, it's funny because if Cade typically scores 39, we're like, oh, like, we'd be freaking out in a playoff game. But it's almost like a bad thing in a way.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. But the more bad thing is, like –
they played right into Orlando's game.
2 guys scored double figures. That's the more bad thing. Jalen Duren had 8 points. That's the more bad thing. Cade scoring 39, I think, can be fine. But like you said,
also
that's
Orlando being like, we executed our game plan to perfection. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
We wanted Cade to take that many shots.
This is a different territory for the Pistons and for guys like Jalen Duren that the Pistons have now become the hunted. And they've always been the team that we're the underdog. We only won 14 games 2 years ago, this and that. Like, they have been the team that has been the hungry team. And now they are facing all the hungry teams. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that is going to be interesting to see how they adjust. Of course, 1 game in, they have clearly not adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can shift.
989-837-6125. And then I guess we'll just, for the sake of it, Jalen Duren, you need to step up. Need to do it, man.
Oh, I still need to get that sounder.
Need to step up. 989-837-6125. 11 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Yater Insurance. They understand, life happens fast. And at Yater Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yater is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can talk to. That's Yetter Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building.
Tigers' first pitch underway. They're wearing the cool navies, and Kevin McGonigal on pitch number 2. Drops it into the gap, hits a single. Gleyber Torres hits into a double play. Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. What a way to ruin the Kevin McGonigal getting on first base to open up the game. Gleyber. What are you at with the Tigers right now? Because obviously they've won 8 of 9 games. It's not like the offense has been brilliant. It's been good enough. It's been fine. It's been the pitching staff that's really been extraordinary. And it's not even like, yeah, Skubal's been really, really awesome. Framber's been really good too. But it's these back-end guys like Flaherty and Mize and Kiter that have not carried the rotation, because it's obviously been Skubal and Valdez as the best guys. But the back end of the bullpen has been the most impressive part overall of the Tigers this season. Maybe, question mark. It's definitely not most talked about because Dylan Dingler now leading the team in OPS and home runs, 5 of them. Colt Keith, breakout, McGonigal. Those 3 guys are the most talked about players on the staff, on the roster. Back into the rotation has been the most sneaky valuable. What's your biggest gripe with them so far? Because the Torkelson being like a black hole in the lineup is something that can't be ignored any longer, even with the winning.
Yeah, I mean, the Torkelson stuff is probably the number one thing. Just the fact that he is an everyday guy in this lineup, and yet he has been so bad. It
Not
still
an
might
everyday
be,
guy today. Cole Keith at first base.
I don't think this was a he's benched because he's struggling thing. I think this was a day off, a scheduled day off. I think if he was,
it can be a little of both. Like,
I think
hey,
if he
man,
was hitting 950 OPS, he would be getting the day off today, anyways. But you're right. I mean,
based on some of these AJ Hinch quotes
did see
that
the
just
Hinch
came
quote,
out, I don't know.
yes.
The quote is, "This is a tough sport mentally, and it started in a season like this for him. But it doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean that he can't have a good day. 1 or 2 things go his way, and you can see him take off." There was also a different quote about, like not being aggressive enough, being passive.
He says it's passive versus patience, and you can choose like which one is good and which one is bad. But it's one or the other, and one, I think being patient is fine. Being passive is a little bit different. So with Torkelson, like, it could be one of those situations where the second he finally gets that first home run, okay, now we're feeling good. Kind of like how we did with Riley Green. Odd he hasn't hit his second home run yet, but Riley Green has definitely stepped up, and he's having a fine season right now. But I think I'm at the point in the Tigers season where things are finally starting to work their things out in the way that we thought it was going to be. This pitching rotation is clearly the highlight of the squad, like no doubt about it, and that's what we thought coming into this series, or coming into this season, and this series as well. Like, that's why I was so excited for this 4-gamer with Boston, because these were the 2 American League best pitching rotations. No doubt about it. You put these 2 teams above it, which one is better? A lot of people thought it was Boston. Well, Garrett Crochet yesterday, who is the next coming of Tarek Skubal, apparently. Some people liked him better than Skubal, second best lefty in the American League. Tigers crushed him. And their pitching staff has been great. And that's how it went down on that Friday. Like, what a better way to start a pitching duel, right? Friday zeros going into extra innings between the Tigers and Red Sox, which was great. But yeah, this pitching staff is the reason why you feel so good about this Tigers squad. The offense has been fine. You've gotten some odd contributors that maybe you didn't expect, and some guys that you certainly did think were going to contribute have not been as good. So the biggest gripe would be just Spencer Torkelson in general. I think that would be my biggest gripe. That or Colt Keith not facing lefties. One of those.
Those are both great answers. I do think it's extremely noticeable or noteworthy that Colt Keith is playing first base today over Spencer Torkelson.
Extremely.
I do. Especially the day after some of these quotes are coming. Like, I'm not saying that Torkelson has been permanently benched, but as I stated to you at the very beginning of the season, the Tigers aren't waiting around for no one this year. Like, you have to start carrying your weight or else you are replaceable. And Spencer Torkelson has not been carrying his weight at all. He hasn't been carrying anything. He's been a dead weight, a black hole in the lineup. So I do think it's second time this season they've said, hey, Colt, how about you play first base today? As we've talked about relentlessly, Jose Briseño, another guy who at some point maybe is called up to play first base. But, man, we talk about how do we get Colt Keith in the lineup every single day. We don't like that he doesn't pitch versus or doesn't hit versus lefties. It would be a good spot, him playing first base a little bit more often, which is what they're doing today. There's a righty on the mound. But still, nonetheless, like, we got to find ways to get Colt Keith in the game other than just third base and DH. I would have said second base is probably the most likely option for that. I think it's going to be first base as long as Torkelson's still playing like this. A 182 average for Spencer Torkelson with a 500 OPS. Gross. He's 0 for 11 in his last 11 ABs, by the way.
Ooh. Yeah, I just don't think that it's like a soft benching of Torkelson at all. It'd be awesome if it was, but he hasn't had a day off in weeks. Like, it'd
be awesome if it was.
It just comes down to that. You know, like, well, just because, I mean, he needs something. He needs a kick in the butt. Like, he needs just something to realize, man, you got to get it going. Like, you had 30 homers last year. That's crazy.
I think this is a little bit of both. I don't think it's like a soft benching, but I don't think this is a coincidence that he's getting a day off today.
I so disagree.
It's like, hey, man,
They played a late afternoon game last night. He hasn't had a day off in weeks. Like, it's the final game of a 4-game series. They played 11 a.m. It's just a perfect day off spot.
I think we'll find out if there ends up being a lefty on the mound at some point to come into relief.
Oh, I don't think he gets
Torkelson-
pinch hit. You're right.
Well, that to me is kind of like a, hey, man, go sit down type of day then. And by the way, a ball just got by Hau-Yu-Lee.
Ooh,
Hit his glove
man,
and just
really
goes
tough
right
start
into the
for
gap.
Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I was optimistic towards him. But anyway, I think Torkelson, this is more so a, hey, mental reset day. Just hang out, have some fun, drink a Gatorade.
Yeah.
You're good. You don't have to worry about coming into the game today. Just clear your mind.
Tigers and the Navies today?
Tigers and the Navies today.
Man, I love those jerseys.
It's always so weird playing in Boston, man. I want to go there this summer and go see a game at this field.
I'd love to go there. It's for sure a bucket list ballpark, no doubt about it.
Ball gets hit out there, and you're just like, what the hell?
It's so weird. It's just the weirdest. It's the weirdest outfield there ever is. It looks so small.
It looks like a little league field.
It looks like such a tiny field. Obviously, the humongous wall like kind of adds into that a little bit. But I mean, even Dingler's homer yesterday, like. It's not easy to get that thing up and above that wall. Like, it's short out there. It's not a long distance, but you got to get it up, too. And I don't know. I think it'd be a nightmare. Like, if I'm a Red Sox outfielder or if I'm a free agent and I'm being, like, recruited in free agency by Boston, as a hitter, I'm like, yeah, I would love to play in Boston. It's why Alex Bregman went there to, get his numbers up and then go get that mega deal from Chicago. Like, a lot of guys do that. But as an outfielder, I mean, that sounds like a nightmare playing out there, dude.
Poor Riley.
No,
989.
it's less running around for Riley. He gets to sit there and wait for the ball to bounce off the wall.
He's like, how am I going to fall down? And there's
I
nowhere to
can't
run.
dive up against the wall. Dang it.
We'll keep reacting to this Tigers game as it continues. Jack Flaherty's got one guy on bases right now with 2 outs because that ball got by Hau-Yu-Lee. I mean, it would have been a tough play for him, but just a line drive single up the third base line. It hit his glove, so anytime it hits the glove, you probably need to reel that in. Flaherty right now, let's just stick with it here until Flaherty gets through the bottom of the first
Genius.
at the very least. Not that we're giving play-by-play updates on this, but I do want to make sure that Flaherty doesn't do any damage.
Can we confirm if Benetti is on the call for this or not? Because that is, if
He was doing
is,
pregame. He was doing pregame.
Man, Jason Benetti, man, you want to talk about a guy that is just a warrior. This guy was on the NBC call last night in Philly. He's coming to do this game today at 11 a.m. So a turnaround. If that game probably didn't get over until, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah. Comes to Boston to his 11 a.m. game. And then tomorrow, he's calling his first NBA game of the year. And, oh, by the way, it's a playoff game.
In Boston.
It's Boston versus Philly in Boston. Yeah.
When does he sleep?
When does he prep? I mean, that's
I
my
have no
thing.
idea.
The guy had to
baseball's a
yeah.
little different. If you do 3 games,
Sure.
you can go miss a game and then rejoin them for the series.
Yeah, but he
It's
also
minimal
did
prep.
he did Braves Phillies last night. Like, has he done any Phillies or
Right.
Braves yet this year? Probably not. Maybe one game before that, if so. Like,
I would guess no.
yeah. And then he has to come back to Tigers Red Sox, and then boom, it's NBA, which I haven't called a game of that all year. Guy's a legend, man. Shout out to Jason Benetti.
It's the best hang in Major League Baseball. Not that I'm watching a lot of other broadcasts. I don't know if Benetti has the best game-winning calls. Not to say that they're bad, but in terms of just hanging out for 9 innings, I don't think it gets better than Jason.
That's why
Benetti.
he was chosen to be the Sunday Night Baseball guy on NBC. And now they're giving him opportunities in basketball as well.
Flaherty walked.
We can't go to break until he's out of this inning.
This is like
It's like the walk thing.
Yeah. I said I'm gonna every time Jack Flaherty's on the mound, I'm gonna start walking, and I can't stop walking until Jack Flaherty's gone through the lineups 3 successful times.
But we've already ruled it out because he went. We also counted him going 6 innings last.
Oh no!
I'm not watching. What happened?
Oh, Riley Green, he did it! He made a leaping catch on the wall.
He figured it out.
He figured out how to make a highlight play out there. That looked bad. I really thought that was a home run over the wall, over the monster. I thought that was going to be a 3-run shot.
Wait, it didn't even go off the wall?
No, he just leaped and caught it. He just leaped, hits the wall, catches it, and then runs into the wall. Probably didn't have to leap. This
That's
guy
a
is
Riley
the
Green
king of
special,
leaping
man.
and diving and sliding for catching fly balls when you don't have to. There's nobody better at it. You know how Javi Baez, there's no one better at tagging than him, and it's just like this weird, unique trait that he has? There's no one better at making the play in outfield look as difficult as possible than Riley Green. It's fantastic. They go to the second inning, and it's still 0-0. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We are live here on 100.9 The Mid. Dow is proudly rooted here in Midland, and they're making an impact all around the world. Innovations that create cleaner solutions for water, safer homes, more sustainable future, and a company built on science but driven by people with thousands of employees who call this community home. Supporting local schools, events, nonprofits, because being a good neighbor just matters. From the lab to the Little League field, Dow is invested in the places we live, work, and play. Dow, solving with science and standing with community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Tigers already through the bottom of the top of the first inning. They go down pretty quickly. Ends with a huge Kerry Carpenter strikeout on a slider.
Did he throw his bat this time?
Yeah, basically. Not quite, but he really, it was a Javi Baez swing and miss. Let's hit the news.
The Mets Morning Catch.
Okay, let's get right back into the news, Ben, right where we left off. We do, of course, have to update the people on what's going on with Zach McKinstry, because that's been kind of the underrated thing of the weekend. It happened late on Friday, so we will use this to take a look at the Covenant Healthcare, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine injury report.
So smart.
Zach McKinstry on the 10-day injured list with a hip/abdominal injury. Abominable snowman? Is that what I just said? I think that's what I just said. Yeah, he's on the 10-day IL. That's why Hao Yu Lee is up. I don't think McKinstry's going to be down for too long. Doesn't seem like he'll need rehab or anything like that. Good opportunity to let Hao Yu Lee get a chance at the big league level. It hasn't gone great for him so far, but of course we'll expect McKinstry to rejoin the squad. I will say, tough time for McKinstry to go out.
Yeah.
Because he had that weird crash at home plate I think it was at home plate in the Royals series. Because he was playing pretty well. Like, he was starting to heat up a little bit, and he was making good plays defensively as well. Like, really was catching his stride at the point in the season so far. But he will be out for at least another 5 days or so. Hao Yu Lee, what do you think? What do you think?
Hasn't been great so far. He's still over at the plate and just let a ball get by him at third base a couple innings ago.
So probably just getting sent back down once McKinstry's back?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if someone's willing to trade for him, by all means. But maybe that
Unless,
happens.
like, Perez is so bad, where they're like, you know what, we're sending Perez down, we'll keep Lee up as, like, a third baseman. But I don't see why they would do that.
I'd rather just have the outfield bat, the switch hitty. But, I mean, Wenzel's been awful. Wenzel's been terrible.
He has been.
He's one of the very few guys that's been worse than Spencer Torkelson this year.
That's what I think the big part about this is they chose to keep him off the roster. So...
Who, Wenzel?
Yeah, like, I don't think they're very high on him. I don't like. That's why I think the Max Clark stuff could happen, dude.
It should happen. And let's just put it this way. You and I were on this way earlier than everybody else.
Right. That's kind of been your thing lately.
Huh.
Just trying to get out in front of it.
What else have I done that with? The Spurs?
Dylan Dingler's the best catcher in the American League.
I said that real early.
The new core. This has just been your thing. What's the next thing?
Remember before the NBA season started when I said, I think Victor Wembanyama is going to win the MVP, and you guys all laughed at me?
He's not going to win the MVP.
I know, but I'm about as close to being right as you can be while still being wrong. Right?
Close
I said the Spurs were going to be good, and you said,
man.
look at the rest of the roster. I remember we were out to eat, and I said, I think the Celtics are still going to be good. And you said, well, look at you and Brad both looked at me, and you were like,
he's not going to win the MVP. What are you taking a victory lap for?
No. I'm taking a victory lap on the Celtics one. You guys both laughed at me and were like, take the under. This team's terrible. Look at their bigs. And I was like, I don't know. I think Jaylen Brown can figure it out.
What is going on right now?
It's just me taking victory laps.
You know what? I got a victory lap for you. We'll do it in the lock of the day segment. Next,
Okay.
Coming up next. If we want to do that game. Okay. We got some college basketball transfer news. Not on the men's side, though. On the women's side, Iowa State star center Audie Crooks has committed to Oklahoma State. This is one of the biggest transfer portal news. Yeah. In certainly in women's college basketball, but honestly in the transfer portal's history. Audie Crooks is a big-time star going to Oklahoma State to stay in the Big 12 as well. I don't know. I thought this was kind of interesting. Is Oklahoma State this big-time women's college basketball market? I didn't really think so. I thought Iowa State was a fine spot for her if she was just going to go there, but nonetheless, like you said, going to be a Cowboy just like Cade Cunningham was. Crooks the Cowboy.
I can't believe the Pistons legitimately made a jersey because Cade Cunningham went to Oklahoma State. Basically a knockoff of the Oklahoma State jerseys for a season. That was weird.
What jersey?
The Cowboy jerseys. The Oklahoma State jerseys. The one that looks exactly like the Oklahoma State one. The orange jersey.
Oh, yes.
You know, when the Pistons were like, let's be orange. What?
Well, because those jerseys, it's the color of a basketball, you know?
Those jerseys were terrible.
Really? I think you're just out on most jerseys in general.
No, I like the stoplight jerseys that you don't like.
The cop jerseys.
The cop jerseys.
I dislike those.
And I really like the black and teal jerseys that the Pistons wear. I wish we would wear those hell, tomorrow. Why not? Or Wednesday.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
You change something up.
Gotta do something. Okay, I got some big news for you. This is pretty huge news. We haven't gotten anything like this all year. The Steelers have not received word from Aaron Rodgers on his future. There is no expectation of a final decision prior to the NFL draft.
He's such a loser,
vu. Same exact thing that happened last year, except it seemed like there was an unwritten thing that, yeah, he just for sure is coming back. Everyone knew it. He just wouldn't actually announce it. This time around, it's probably more of the same, right? He's Aaron Rodgers,
There's no reason
man.
to think it's different.
Yeah, he's just going to come back. He's not retiring.
He'll do a retirement
They
tour.
hired Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Like, what do we think? What are we talking
They're
about
going to
here?
do a retirement tour for him, for sure.
Did you see LeBron also said he doesn't want a retirement tour, and the idea of him retiring after this year is still fully in the air?
Stop.
I don't believe it.
I hope I don't believe it either, but, like, I'll get physically sick if
I will.
If we're truly watching
And-
his last
and-
basketball games,
and
and I know that. Maybe him not announcing a retirement tour is for the best, so I don't have to stomach through watching his last games knowing
right.
that. But also,
No, he has to.
He has to. I would actually feel like I'm being robbed of a final game of his if we didn't
Yes.
get a LeBron retirement
That's what I was
tour.
gonna say.
I think Hal Yuli just got an error.
Like on top of the mistake he had earlier?
Yes.
Oh, man. Going back to the LeBron thing, I saw it from that report. You know, I can't remember who reported it, but I saw a lot of, non-LeBron fans reacting, being like, he's not going to do this. He's LeBron. Of course he wants a retirement tour. He for sure wants one. Yeah, you're right. He's LeBron, dude.
Yeah, like, you know how
What are
every
we
good
talking
player
about?
wants a retirement tour?
Like, he's LeBron James. Of course he's going to get a retirement tour. Like, why are we acting like this is some big, he's always in the spotlight. He's got to make it about himself. Yeah, he's the game's greatest player ever. Like,
Nobody said that about Kobe.
what are we talking about? A retirement tour? He does, like, should he get one? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It ends up being. No, I don't think they credited it as an error to anybody, but they got a guy in a pickle. Somebody bunted.
Not the pickle.
Flaherty picked it up. The guy just turns around. He's like, I'm not going on. It was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt to score. Flaherty picks it up. Guy turns around. Flaherty goes to throw it back to Hal Yuli at third, and Hal Yuli just doesn't get it, and the guy ends up scoring.
Yikes. Speaking of yikes, the New York Mets.
Oh, wait, hold on. Pause.
Oh, okay, one sec.
Error goes to Flaherty.
Oh. Anyways, the Mets, they've lost 11 games in a row. Pretty hilarious, man. This team is now 7-15. They're last place in their division. Longest losing streak since 2004. This is this mega spending squad. They went crazy this offseason with improving the roster, making trades left and right, and they've lost 11 straight games.
Do you think Juan Soto regrets leaving the Yankees? He has to, right?
No, I would much rather be on the Mets than the Yankees.
Me too.
John is in the building. That's the only reason I say that. Yeah, I mean, no way he regrets it. He got like $750 million or something. Like, he got a ridiculous contract. I wouldn't regret any of that. But the team stinks, so maybe he does. Speaking of teams that spend a lot of money, the LA Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. You seen this? 50 straight games Shohei Ohtani has gotten on base.
Yeah.
50.
That's, I mean,
What?
it's GOAT stuff. That's what it is.
You said you could. On certain books you can bet on him to break the record or whatever.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this quick.
You know, you also can bet on when the Mets are going to win their next game.
No way.
They have that as well.
No way.
Yes.
Mets next win.
Mets next win.
Their next one. Oh, my God. This is so funny.
Oh, the
That's
Mets
hilarious.
fans, man. The Mets fans. Just a
I
fan
don't
base
see the
that's so
Ohtani
fun
thing
to make
anymore.
fun of, man. It's just, I don't know why. It's so fun. Okay, a couple more
That is
things here in
funny.
the news, and then we'll end it. NFL draft prospect Zachariah Branch, wide receiver from Georgia, expected to be an early day 2 pick, arrested in Georgia. I don't really know what for. I didn't really see what, but just
In
another
Georgia, probably
just another
speeding.
Georgia football player that gets arrested. Just actually ridiculous. Kirby Smart, man. Maybe he's the guy that needs to get some sort of
Yeah, maybe we need to
fingers
arrest
pointed
Kirby
at
Smart.
him. Yeah, like what's going on over there, man?
It's like, what does he do? Like, show up to the first day of
Yeah.
practice and throw
All right.
everyone keys to a Ferrari? Go ahead,
Just
go
crazy.
nuts, man.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Last thing in the news, golf news. Matt Fitzpatrick defeats Scotty Scheffler in the playoff at the RBC Heritage. So it's back-to-back runner-ups for the world's #1 golfer, Scotty Scheffler, at the Masters, and then following it up here at Hilton Head Island. Tough for Scotty. What's the update on the WrestleMania? What's the update there?
Roman
How'd it
Reigns
go?
is your new world heavyweight champion. He defeated CM Punk.
Wait,
The Rock
seriously?
did not come out. Yes, Roman Reigns is your new champion. Cody Rhodes retains. Brock Lesnar retired because Obafemi beat him in less than 5 minutes.
Like, for good retired?
I can imagine so. It was a pretty ceremonial goodbye, emotional one. It was a good WrestleMania, though. I enjoyed. You know what I'm not enjoying? The fact that the bases are loaded right now in the bottom of the second for Jack Flaherty, and he only has 1 out. That's not good.
Yeah, I love that from John, just right in front of the camera.
That is always good stuff from John. Thanks, John. Okay, we got a fly out tag at the plate. Oh, he didn't even go. All right, base is still juiced, 2 outs. Didn't even make a play over at.
So do we
at
have
home
to stay?
plate.
Do we have to stay on just like we did last time?
I don't know. This could go a while, and we have to
point.
get one more break in. Let's give the people an update on Jack Flaherty getting out of a jam. It'll be suspenseful. Jack Flaherty, bases loaded right now, 2 outs. We'll tell you how it goes when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, and we are live here on 100.9 The Mitt. If you're looking for workwear that actually works as hard as you do, you got to check out Thomas Trading Post. Whether you're on the job site, in the field, or just need durable everyday apparel, Thomas Trading Post has you covered. Stop in today just north of the Midland Mire and see why they've been a local favorite for more than 4 decades. That's Thomas Trading Post, built for work, built to last.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jack Flaherty got out of the jam after he
Hey.
walked somebody in. So now it's 2-0. And he's at just under 50 pitches.
Nice job, Jack.
And How You Lee's now up to bat. All right, let's do our three traditions to close out every show.
3, not 4, not 5.
The first of those is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
It's gotten to the point where I no longer enjoy this, to be quite frank.
It's just now gotten to that point?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we've officially reached that point in lock of the day. Go ahead and tell everybody where I'm at.
Okay, another week last week where Ben went 1-4. This has just been like the thing for you lately. You've gone 1-4 5 straight weeks. 5 in a row. And that's ever since you've come back, by the way. So it's like maybe something happened out in Utah where you just like couldn't really, like, the gambling has just gone haywire.
You
here.
can't gamble there.
Right, yeah, maybe it was like it cursed you or something. You've gone 1-4
Cursed.
in the last 5 weeks, and in the last 4 weeks, you've only hit on Wednesday. Like, Wednesday's the only day that you can do anything.
When was
It's
the
kinda
last time I
hilarious.
hit on a Monday?
That's-
Jake Rogers RBI, by the way.
Nice. That was the last thing I was going to say. Last time you hit on a Monday was actually the day before you left. It was the last day, first week of March. You hit a Jokic bet.
Oh, look at that.
interesting. It was a Jokic triple-double bet that you hit.
Jokic today is the lock of the day to score 30 points against the Timberwolves, the game that doesn't start until 11 p.m. tonight, 10:40 technically. I would guess it's closer to 11 p.m. In general. Yeah, won't be staying up for this one, but guess what? First thing I'm going to look at when I wake up, whether or not Jokic scored 30. Plus 124, he has scored 34 of the last 7 games against the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves come at him pretty good tonight, but Jokic just decides I'm going to score as much as possible. So I've got him to score 30. Your thoughts?
I mean, it makes sense, right? What did he do in game 1?
25 points.
Okay. So he's kind of due, you're saying?
Yeah,
I'm going to fade.
fair enough. All right.
Wait 1 sec.
Yep.
I haven't even actually given a real update. 10.81 units down in 2026. 6.7 units down in April. And you've got 2 weeks to make it up here. When's May 1st? May 1st is next Friday. So, yeah, you got 10 whole days to figure it out.
I guess I just got to go 9 for 9.
Well,
leading up to that
that's a
day.
good point.
Okay, that's our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
As for our game of the day, go ahead and hit it.
Game of the day.
You actually have options here today.
Yeah, it's got to be some playoffs, right?
It's been a while. Yeah, you got playoff basketball, playoff hockey. You got the Tigers playing right now.
Well, unfortunately, the game of the day is Minnesota versus Denver. However, that game's at 10:40 p.m. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't think you can make it the game of the day, right? I mean, if you're
think I can
not
either.
watching, I mean, like the game of the day means you are watching it. It's
Right.
your game of the day. If you aren't going to watch it, it can't be the game of the day.
What are we doing? Why are we not afraid to have 2 games on at the same time earlier in the day, but then we can't have, like,
Well, it's because they're both on NBC. That's the issue.
I know, but why is the first NBC game not start at 7 and then the next one
Because
start
there's
at 10?
a Peacock game at 7. They want people to tune into Peacock first, and NBC they own the same company. This is all a play from NBC.
I know, but the Peacock one should be the middle game is what I'm saying.
Oh, like have one at 7 and 9:30.
There
and
is a
then
game at 7.
the Peacock one, but you're saying have Peacock start at 8. Well, they want people to tune in to strictly Peacock for an hour. That's what it is.
No one's going to care about the Toronto game, though.
Toronto fans.
I'm gonna.
Cavs fans.
I guess I got to go with the Atlanta Hawks
Yeah.
and the New York Knicks.
I
starting
don't
at
think
8
it's
o'clock.
I don't think it's a bad pick.
The best game is Minnesota versus Denver, though. just on late.
So what's your pick?
Atlanta, New York is my game of the day.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
You know, that played during a Loons game last week.
I
don't know
was
if you
in the
were-
room.
I'll say I couldn't remember if you were here for that or not.
I saw that. I heard
funny.
it.
Pretty
It was
funny.
funny. The rare Kevin McGonigal strikeout.
Oh.
Backwards.
Ooh. So he should have challenged it. No way it was a strike.
It was. It was for sure a strike.
Oh, darn it.
Okay. Last thing we have. Predicting what Colin Cowherd opens with. What's the score and whose turn is it to go first?
Ooh, I messed up the scoreboard. It's 52-50. There we go. I've got the lead. I had you in the lead there.
Yikes.
52-50 is the score. Nobody got a point last week. It wasn't even J-Mac Friday. It was, can't even remember who it was. Colin should be back today. It's your turn to go first. Obviously, this is no doubt about it going to be an NBA playoffs lead. It's just what angle does he go at? What team does he pick? Does he do a grand scheme playoffs thing? I think there's a pretty good amount of guesses you could have today. A lot of options.
Well, last night he had the Spurs on, and Wemby had his 35, which was incredible. He
feels right.
but also a 1 seed lost. That's not a nothing burger. There's some real juice there. I'm gonna go with the Spurs. That'll be my pick.
Probably feels appropriate. I do think there's a world where he is just like, screw the NBA, A.J. Brown, lead. But that would just be kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to choose that. I am going to go to it's a day after, so kind of risky, and they don't play tonight. But I'm going to go to the Lakers winning game 1. Like, oh, the Lakers are so back. They won game 1. They stole game 1. Luka is going to come back healthy. LeBron, he's doing it at 40-something. Luke Kennard, who they got at the trade deadline, blah, 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 this and that. I'm going to go with the Lakers pick
Going
today.
back to Saturday night. I mean, that was the primetime slot throughout the weekend.
I just think he would rather lead that rather than the Celtics or the Thunder winning, or like you said, even the Pistons losing game 1. So that's what I'll go with.
Okay, there you
You
go.
know, when we did the debate of who's the best athlete in the world, like the most dominant athlete, I've got a new answer for you. Marcel Hug of Switzerland just won his 9th Boston Marathon wheelchair race. 9 of them.
It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. How long is that 24 miles?
I don't know, but it took 1 hour.
Imagine.
It took 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 6 seconds.
So no, it wasn't 24 miles.
I don't know how long it was. It doesn't say.
That is impressive.
Oh, wait, but somebody else, though. Ernst Van Dyke has 10 titles in this. So never mind. Marcel Hug is still trying to chase over Ernst Van Dyke. All right. That's right, people.
Thank you, Kyle,
We give you the,
for that
we give you the
wonderful
real
update.
news here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
Tigers are on right now. It is 1-2. They are down. There's a runner on second base. Jake Rogers actually just stole second base. So that's where we're at with the Tigers game. I'll be watching that the rest of the day. Follow on Twitter if you want some tweet along with there. We might go get lunch somewhere and watch the game. That, I think, is going to be the play for us, Kyle. All right. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Be there or be square. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on the Mid.
The Ben Bosscher